I still haven't mastered the YouTube camera. Which is fine. Because I'm about to share screen anyway. Here we go. There it is. Boom. Alright, y'all. We about to talk about the Draconic chart. If y'all want a personal reading or a personal card, pull it in the chat. Go ahead and put your name in the chat. Say, hey, yo, me. I want a personal reading. And then once I get to that space of doing personal readings, you will be there to get your personal reading. In the meantime, in between time, hey, JR or Junior. Hey, hey, Nate. Hey, Quantum. Hey, Rich. Hey, Allie. Peace, peace, y'all. Welcome to the planetary forecast. Today we are going over the Draconic chart. Hey, Diane. Hey, Gods. Hey, Charles. Grace. Peace, peace to the tribe. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Gemini. Hey, D. Hey, Dre. Hey, Shirley. Shanta. Angela. Everybody. So let's get started. So for like the past few days, we have been going over the new moon to new moon. The first new moon was September 2nd. The next new moon is October 2nd. We've been talking about the planetary placements. Gemini, peace. How's your day going? How you feeling? Hey, Evan. So today we will be going over. Oh, Goddess, it's a first quarter Capricorn moon. So the moon is in your favor, but it is in opposition with Mars. So it's a little bit of a challenge to align those. But happy Capricorn moon to you, sis. Begin your space of building the intangible things in the intuitive space. I just got the notification. You're welcome. But yeah, so today we're gonna go over the Draconic chart. I feel it would be better today. Yeah. It's gonna be a great Thursday. I feel it. I feel like it's gonna be a good Thursday. The Draconic chart is about your soul's experience and your soul contracts. And so I'm gonna go over the transit Draconic chart. If y'all have any questions or any alignments y'all want to make with your personal Draconic chart with what I'm speaking on, then feel free to put it in the chat. I will respond. I love to respond. So let's talk about it. So on the first new moon, which was September 2nd, we're going to start off at the ascendant line, which is the energy that you give off. This is the rising, how we rise upon the space. And remember, we're talking about your soul's experience. We've already talked about the happenings and events, and we've already talked about your happenings and events with the Vedic chart. And we've already talked about the your thought process with the tropical chart. So now it's time for your soul. All right. Hold on one second. Sheet of paper I'm looking for real quick. Oh, and don't we have a new, oh, no, I was about to say, no, we don't. Okay, so we're starting off with the ascendant line. This is the energy that you give off. This is the energy that you exert into your space. And also, let me know if you guys can hear me all right. And if you're passing through and you have any celestial, astrological, astronomical gifts you guys would like to share, please feel free to put them in the chat. Share your gifts. We would love to hear from you, what it is that you bring to the space. Hey, Lady Luck. Hey, Phyllis. Hey, y'all. Welcome, welcome. Oh, that's what I was about to say. That's what I'm looking for. So, how you present yourself. We start off with presenting ourselves in the Gemini energy. So, soul's experiences. Finding your soul tribe is key here. Yeah, that's basically what it is. Our soul is looking for the soul tribe. We're looking for the celestial bloodline right now. And so we have Jupiter expanding on that at an 11 degree of mastery. Jupiter brings the optimism, the generosity to your soul's experience. Jupiter also brings the sacral chakra creative energy, expounding on that. Pay attention to how your spirit feels in different circles when you're around other people's energies. because that is like your main antenna right now, with Jupiter being at 11 degree of mastery and that Gemini energy. Mars is also here. Mars is, your motivational energy, what gets you going, what your ambition is, and stuff like that. So on a spiritual level of things, we have your spirit. You'll feel your spirit being hard to contain. It's getting really difficult to ignore your intuition. It's getting very difficult to ignore the energies around you, the spiritual realm around you, and the spirituality and the other people around you as well. I see a lot of you guys starting to pay attention to the spirituality of the spiritual quote unquote leaders around you, or just any type of leader, the communities, the different organizations, the businesses, all that. I appreciate the likes. Thank you guys. Keep liking this, touching the screen, liking the screen. Feel free to share. And all those other little buttons at the bottom. I appreciate y'all. But yeah, so expanding it, feeling motivated towards it, being more strategic with your spiritual experience. Thank you so much for the gifts. I really appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. And the fortune is also here. So our spiritual fortune is in finding that soul tribe. And that is the key here. You're going to feel your spirit like moving the rest of your body and the rest of your thought. Like your spirit is like the biggest magnet here in that realm of finding other people, aligning with other people, and also repelling certain people that have been in your space. Now, we talked about that heavy in the Vedic chart, about certain happenings that are happening around you as you start reorganizing, especially Mercury entering Virgo and the thoughts of things. Especially when you start reorganizing your thoughts, your moral and integral code, your daily routine, what's happening around you is definitely people feeling deep unrest lately. Oh yeah, because your spirit, there's some stuff that your spirit really wants to do, and your spirit don't really care about your physical body. I ain't gonna hold you. It's like your spirit has all this energy, it has all this ambition, it has all these dreams and stuff. That's why, like, even in your sleep, you're still working, you're still moving, you're still having spiritual experiences in your dreams, whether you're, wake or sleep, whatever. So, like, your physical body is like, oh my God, I'm so exhausted, my brain is tired, this, that, and the third. And your spirit's like, we ain't done. I'm always 2 years old. I'm always 1 year old, okay? Lately, I've been interested in fire letters. Ooh, could you expound on that fire letters for me? What is that? That's something I never heard that term before. But yes, definitely moving into that place of having more wisdom in your space, because Gemini is very intellectual, wanting to do a bunch of different things. Hey John, welcome. Yeah, I've been sleeping like maybe every 2 days. I ain't gonna hold you. I have a lot of things to do. My body just wants to like crash so bad. But then it's crazy because as soon as I get into bed, my eyes open. Like I just be laying there, but my body just wants to crash. It is like, no, we're not crashing. I have things to think of. I have imaginations to imagine. We're invoking things tonight, are we not? And I'm like, bro, this is work too. But yeah, like it was very, very heavy all day. I felt that be like before I started the live, it took me like an hour to start this live because my spirit is excited to do it. Like I love doing this with y'all, but my body is like, all right. But heavy Gemini energy, y'all really pay attention to the energies of other people, places, things, and situations around y'all, because the community that you belong to, the tribe that you belong to, the kind of people that you're supposed to be around, your spirit is really sensing for them right now and longing for them, and you're going to feel that longing energy. Hey Deja Vu, welcome. Hey Cadis and Anita. So then we get into the second house, the house of nurturing energy, and that's of course in it. The second house is about like the Taurus house is priorities, sense of wealth, different levels of love, forgiveness, value, what your spirit values, the way your spirit values itself and its importance, and that is being nurtured right now. That's what we're craving for. Why that second house is sitting in Cancer, and the second house in the Draconic chart is actually pretty short right now. And then we just like the third house starts in Cancer as well. So now we have that community energy, the the spirit community is here to nurture your spirit, and that's where your spirit is like craving for that sense of nurturing energy. And not only is that spiritual community, oops, sorry, I'm not a Gemini, but I don't know a lot about signs. It's okay. This is the whole Draconic chart. We going over the whole circle, and so your sun is your sun is in whatever zodiac it's in, but you still have other placements that might be in Gemini and stuff like that. So, and then also getting into the different elements. You might have some placements in other air placements and stuff like that. So, we technically have all 12 signs within us. It's just a matter of what planets do you have inside of those signs. I'm Scorpio Sun, Aquarius Moon. Oh, so you got a water experiences, very powerful experiences where your nurturing spirit is with like society. It's a like revolutionary, unique individuals. Like you like to be around the loners, the misfits. That's where you get your nurturing energy from. But you love those like bum, ba-da-dum, bum, bum, bum experiences. But then you go home and be like, yeah, real Wednesday. Yep. I'm very like this. The energy feels real for me. My sun is at Aquarius Moon. You're a Sagittarius Sun, Scorpio Moon. Okay, so you have that fire and water. So you know the goal and a bit of a challenge because they are opposite energies is to teach them how to get along with one another. So you like the having that traveling energy, having those traveling experiences, expansion, abundance, maybe some philanthropy happening in that space. But then like your nurturing energy is you feeling like a dom. You like to dominate a little bit, don't you? That's all right. It's like, let me feel like I'm in charge. You're a Cancer, so you like to have nurturing experiences. Hey, Junebug, welcome, welcome. Appreciate the follow. So, getting back into the Draconic chart, so the 3 starts in Cancer energy. So you're looking for that community that's going to nurture your soul, nurture your spirit. So if you're not in people, places, things, situations that's doing that for you, again, more repelling from those spaces and more moving towards spaces that feed your spirit. That's what we're moving towards, right? Hey Jay, how you doing, love? And then 3 not only nurtures your spirit, but they're also going to empower your spirit and help your spirit find more creative ways to get through with soul contracts. And you can get into your personal Draconic chart. Um, you get into Aquarius placement in your Draconic chart lets you know how you detached yourself into this physical plane, and then you get into Capricorn. Capricorn in your Draconic chart tells you what your soul contract is consists of, and align that with your Saturn placement wherever Saturn is at, and I'll let you know what your soul contract is. Okay, and so you want a soul tribe that's going to give you that Cancer Leo energy, right? I'm going to nurture, and they're going to give you that confidence and empowerment. And then we have Mercury sitting there. So we need this on a daily basis. We need this on a daily routine. You need a spiritual tribe that's on alignment with your more integral code, and y'all going to learn together and study together. Um, I've honestly really been feeling this heavy, but I'm very much led by Mercurian energy, so it makes sense why. You have this at a 14 degree. 14 is knowledge and foundation of culture is heavy in the 4 too, and then the 5 brings you to walking in the power of your truth, and that's the kind of soul chart that you got, that your spirit is looking for. All right. And so you're gonna, so then we have the 4th house starting in Leo with the moon sitting in, and remember we starting this off at midnight on the new moon, which is September 2nd. So we have that 4th house of home and family, that intuitive energy. The moon sitting there in Leo. So the moon is in its home house, but it's in the Leo zodiac energy on the Draconic chart. So that again, bringing that energy of the nurturing soul tribe. Okay, having now us, like individually or collectively as solar beings, we have to have that energy of peace, peace. Welcome on YouTube too. I see y'all. You have to have, that confidence and courageousness to when you interact. Peace, Tyree. Welcome, welcome. You have to have that when you feel a soul connection with someone. Listen to that voice. Hey Adonis, welcome. You gotta listen to that voice and be like, yo, this is what I want to do. Listen to your spirit when you come across different souls. Different souls need you to say something, say that. If different souls need you to create a connection there, you don't have to control the connection. The connection don't have to be a lifelong connection, but it might be the connection that you need right here in this moment. So start listening to your spirit, because right now we're finding the soul tribe. I haven't been on here for a while and stuff has changed. Long vid duration. Oh, I'm actually live now. Oh yeah, the videos do go for 10 minutes now. You're absolutely right. We love the Humpday readings. Thank you. I love giving them. So that's Mercury there, the moon there, and then we have the sun in the fourth house too. But the sun is at a 2 degree. Oh, and to remind you, the moon is at a 22 degrees. So master architect. When you're aligning with these souls, you guys are building things. So please, all those quote unquote intrusive thoughts, impulsive thoughts, whatever, if it's coming, you should have at this point in time discernment with certain energies and knowing which energy is for you and what's not for you. This, that, and the third. And if you can't, I guess I should put that there, right? Hold on. I don't even know how to do that. Um, I'm learning how to do stuff. But all those like initial thoughts that you get when people come into your space and stuff like that, definitely want to listen to those spaces. Definitely want to, no LLC at the end. I think I pinned it though. I don't know if I pinned it or not, but I hope I did. Anyway, and we're going to have like 2 degrees. Now, 2 degrees is that space of wisdom. So, wisdom happening in your experiences, and wisdom is that alignment of having experiences that bring on that discernment. So, when I do this and I do that, and those things come into my space, this is what's going to happen, or that's what's going to happen. So, I want y'all to get like real comfortable with having that discernment between what energy is coming as intrusive, as different like thoughts and stuff that want to be born, but it's not yours and it's not something you want to give birth to, versus something that your soul is really gravitating to because this is the experience that you're supposed to have, etc., etc. And so that is the sun and moon at that 2 degrees and 22, both sitting in that fourth house energy. However, the moon is in that Leo, giving you the confidence, the courageousness, and the creative energy. Hey Dice, welcome. Hey Miranda, hey Zach. While the sun is giving you those organized and moral, integral daily routine. So you guys got to expect your spirit and following your spirit to give you a whole daily routine shift. Okay. Well, okay. Thank you so much for tapping in, channel. I really appreciate you coming through, and I hope to see you again because I do this like almost every night. We go over the astrological, numerological charts, and I do readings. I really appreciate you coming in. Peace. Um, and then we start off in the fifth house. Now, the fifth house, now we've come into the Leo house. Now we're in that house of confidence and courageousness. Now we're in that house of romantic, creative energy, like the connections. Walking in the power of your truth is heavy here, right? Yes.
Apparently, the lady book is bad luck because it was actually dead.
Oh, that's wild. I'm sorry to hear that. So, walking in the power of your truth is heavy for the fifth house. We have Venus sitting there. Venus deals with our priorities, our sense of value and love, our love for self and others, what we find beauty in, and then that's sitting at a 2 6 degrees. So it's at wisdom, equality, and it's bringing you to transformations in which what our souls prioritize, what our spirits have been prioritizing a long time. Our spirit has been, bless you, sweeties. A long time our spirit has been prioritizing us towards more material things, tangible things, and stuff like that. But let me talk to you a little bit about what else is over here. In the fifth house, the Venus and Lilith are pretty close. They're about 3 degrees apart from each other. Lilith is over there at a 2 9 degree. Hey, Van Owens. So that's wisdom and completion, or wisdom being born, and that's bringing us to a sense of mastery. So the goal is to master that Lilith energy in our spirit. That is that rebellious, revolutionary energy, the primordial goddess. We're going all the way back. I know we like to go back to like before colonization, that period of time right before colonization. Some of y'all got like to go back to the time of the Moors. Well, I need y'all to spiritually go back further than that, and that's what Lilith is causing us to do in that fifth house energy, right there in Virgo vibe. So organizing and stuff like that. So you guys are gonna find your spirit wanting to rebel against what you've been taught. Is going to want to rebel against the regular routine, and that's why a lot of you guys may be feeling restless towards the things that you guys have been taught to prioritize, right? The things that guys have been taught to find pride, pride in, to implement in your daily routine. Like, we gotta go to work, the kids gotta go to school, this gotta be this gotta be that. But your spirit is like really pulling on you right now. And that's that alignment of Venus and Lilith sitting right next to your heart, your spiritual heart. And then we have the South Node sitting here too. Now the South Node is more so on the Libra scales, but we're still in the Virgo side. We're still in the fifth house energy of it. So we're coming from that space of justice and those bonds and contracts, because that's what that Libra energy, your soul contracts, right? We're coming from those soul contracts, but we're moving towards Aries, which is new beginnings with our soul contract. A lot of, majority of us here in this space and time, I want y'all to tap in with our Draconic chart again and check what house, because everybody's North and South Node will be at 0 degrees Aries Libra. However, it's the house that you really want to pay attention to, and the degrees when you get into the numerology of it. We have not the degrees, because it's always a 0 degree. I meant to say the house in the zodiac of it is going to be a little different for you, like its placement in that and what it's next to. And so that South Node being there down there in Libra in the fifth house, it's, we've gotten accustomed to the contracts and our creative self and the power of our truth, right? But there's new contracts that need to be made in the power of our truth now. You know what I'm saying? As we, transition from that Pisces to Aquarius energy, there's new truths coming out. It's new realities coming out. We're no longer being duped under certain kind of energy. I was reading this Akashic Records book, and it was like, we're moving away from that one teacher or one preacher in a room of, students that, don't even have the mindset or are equipped with the energy to even study on their own or whatever, because now, like, your soul is having that thirst for knowledge, that thirst for progression, a little bit of impatience as well, if you will, to like be as much as a teacher as the teacher, even if it's not on the same level as the teacher. It's still that desire there and that energy and action there, and that's important. You know what I mean? So, follow your spirit going in that realm. We are definitely moving away from that. We're moving into a new power in our truth. So now the fifth house takes us all the way up to the beginning of Scorpius energy. We have the vortex sitting at a 2 degree in Scorpius sixth house. Vortex is like, what is your soul attracting right now, right? So now your soul is in the space at a 2 degree, in the space of wisdom, and the wisdom is bringing a sense of power, bringing us back to that leadership. Everybody is thirsting to be some sort of empowerment. Everybody's spirit wants to be powerful, because everybody's spirit is power. You know what I'm saying? We're no longer moving in that indoctrination that says, oh, I gotta be an employee. Yeah, I'll look at it later. Well, I gotta be an employee, or I gotta be a student, or I have to be beneath this person. Like, could you, like, some people really were aspiring to be in, at the bottom part of a ladder because they like the activity. You know what I'm saying? But now we're moving to a space where everybody wants to be in power. Everybody wants to be a chief. And you can be, because we're all being led by a powerful spirit. And when you let go of that tropical, your thoughts on what the ego is, when you let go of that tropical ego, and everybody walks around and talk about what their sun sign, and they only talk about their tropical sun sign. That's your thought process on your ego. My thought process on my ego is Virgo. You know what I'm saying? When you let that go and you allow yourself to move into the space where we're all powerful. You're just as powerful as I am. We're all powerful puzzle pieces to one picture. You know what I'm saying? And you start allowing other people to provide information just as much as you provide information, and your self-empowerment is not in competition with the next one in all these different things. Like, that really matters. Hey, North Node in the sixth house on the Draconic. So you're moving towards that sense of equality. You're moving towards that moral and integral code. Um, and you're moving towards, paying attention to details of things, putting yourself more so in the intellectual realms of things and harvesting energy, because that is Virgo heavy. Um, and so, like, you're also in alignment with this vertex and the Scorpius sixth house energy. The vertex is passing through your North Node in that sixth house. In Virgo too. Yeah, so you're moving more so in that intellectual realm of things. Being of service is key there too. Assisting other people in their space. So if you're moving towards Virgo, then that means that you're moving away from Pisces. So you're moving away from that detachment and that isolation energy and being to yourself. You're moving away from Olukun. So yeah, as a collective, the vertex is moving us to that towards that powerful spiritual energy. So now the sixth house keeps spreading. The sixth house goes all the way up into Sagittarius, and now we're in that DC line. So AC line is the energy we give off. The DC line is the energy we receive. Hey Ross, welcome, welcome. And so the energy we receive is in Sagittarius. Your spirit energy is getting that. Pay attention to your nervous system. Your nervous system is telling you something about your intellect, and that's like the middle channel that your spirit is going to be using, that the collective spiritual energy is using, is your nervous system. So pay attention to your nervous system in different situations. That is the energy that you will be receiving. That is the pipeline or the telephone line or telephone number that spirit is going to be using to get to the collective of all. Because Sagittarius rules over the mind, Sagittarius rules over the sacral chakra, Sagittarius rules is Jupiter, and it's like ruling over your nervous system. All right. And then we're going to take that seventh house all the way up to Capricorn energy, the cardinal section of Capricorn, and then we're going to move into the eighth house, of transformations. Now this is the divine womb. You notice we've been having a lot of celestial celebrity stars passing off into the divine womb. A lot of that is because we're in the season of Mut or Mut, which is the divine womb, the celestial womb. We're in the month of 9, which is born. We just experienced having like a 3-9 day, and then turned around and had a 2-9 day after that. So the divine womb is definitely open for exchange of physical bodies. So some celestial beings have to get rid of their physical bodies and do things in another space. Aligning yourself with that connection of 8. What's in your 8th house? Paying attention to your Draconic 8th house is heavy too. We have Pluto sitting in the Draconic 8th house at a 22 degrees, at a degree of mastery, and that's how we started off the month. So that new moon energy, and the shadow of that new moon energy. Peace, melanin. Literally fight death. I mean, you don't have to fight death. We don't really die. We just, some of us no longer need our physical body. And right now, the cosmic womb is open for those who it's time for a promotion. It's time for, hey Ross, welcome, welcome. It's time for you to, do away with your body. I would suggest reading the Circle 7. The Circle 7 does bring a lot of solace to that mindset of death, and you know how your body is a flower, and after the flower opens, it only has a certain period of time before it's time for it to go away. Wow, I got confirmation of being promoted today. Ashe. But yeah, so Pluto is at that 22 degree, the master architect. It's in Cancer. So, I mean, not Cancer, excuse me. It's in Capricorn. So on the other side, it's in Capricorn energy. So it's in that foundation. It's in that structure of things. And it's in that 8th house of transformation. So on the souls, on the soul level, spiritual level, you see a lot of people that have contributed to the spirituality of people. Again, coming back to the celebrities, because celebrities, these stars, they have contributed a lot to the collective celestial energy with the music they make, with the movies they made, the impact that they've had. You know what I'm saying? That's why they're considered stars. That's why they're considered celestial celebrities. They're put in these positions where everybody knows certain kind of celebrities, and certain kind of celebrities are only allotted their, boundaries, their spaces or whatever. But like, one example would be like James Earl Jones. I'm pretty sure everybody know at least one movie with him in it, and that had an impact on their energy. It had an impact on their some point in time in their life. Like I watched Coming to America. I watched The Lion King. I remember the Bell Atlantic commercials. Like, I remember the Yellow Pages phone books and the prank calling. I remember the Simpsons episodes and stuff like that. So, a lot of people do. So like energy like that, big energy like that is returning. They no longer, need their body, as we're in this energy and mood. And energies like that have definitely, coming to America, Tyree. Energy like that has definitely had a big Capricorn impact on our celestial, vibration, spiritual realm. So again, like I said, that infrastructure, and that also means that some heavy celestial energy is also being born. So there's some babies that came this past week or so, this first decade of September, that's going to shake that's going to shake the world. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of heavy energy that's going to shake the world, which is like very exciting. You gotta remember, I'm reading this, but this is also somebody's birth chart right here that I'm reading too. It might be our transit chart, but this is somebody's birth chart. So that's very exciting at the same time. We move on to the ninth house. The ninth house is that house of optimism. Hey, Bookums, how you doing, love? Um, we move into that house of expansion, of your mindset, ruling your mindset. Um, and joy. And so that house goes from Capricorn, because after we get done experiencing the transformations and the death and the building and destroying and all of that, I love the fact that the eighth house is, where it's at. And then right after that, you get the ninth house of the celestial energy, Jupiter ninth house energy also is in alignment with Mayat as well, because when you get into like the chakras, how the chakras are set up, it's Jupiter at the top, then you have Sagittarius on the external side and Pisces on the internal side. So, you have that, like that aha moment after the storm. After the Oya storms, you have the flowers, you know what I'm saying? So that's that divine alignment there right after. And that's going to bring us into Aquarius. So there's going to be an expansion not only in our infrastructure, because like I said, how we had these major celestial beings, and it don't always have to be celebrities. For some of you guys, it's big people in your lineage. Some of you guys are losing matriarchs and patriarchs and really important people in your family, like major players in whatever company you work for, political people, whatever, because the infrastructure is experiencing transformation on not only on a physical level, as Pluto is sitting and Capricorn on the tropical and the Vedic chart. So not only is Pluto doing things on your mindset and the happenings around you, but it's doing the same thing in the spiritual realm as well. So just how we're seeing like the rise and fall of empires and the rise and fall of governments and currencies and ideals and mindsets and all that, the cosmos is also experiencing a rise and fall and a pendulum swinging in the spiritual realm too, in the cosmic realm as well. There's some spirits up there that are getting demoted, and some spirits up there that are getting promoted, and some spirits being moved around. So as above and below is real heavy right now with that Pluto placement. So then we get that expansion, we get those downloads, which I know a lot of you spiritual people have been getting them. And I like the fact that you guys are coming into the public and you letting people know, hey, y'all can't be getting readings from everybody. Y'all can't be doing this with everybody. That's why I don't push readings on people. If you want a personal reading with me, you gotta come to me, baby. I do this thing for the collective, but if you want something personal, I will never push myself on you. So if you get any type of inbox or page or whatever, it is not me. You got to come to me. You got to open up your energy to me. I can't force it open for you. And please do not come to me for a reading if you are a skeptic, because I will feel it. And I don't like the way it makes my reality when people ask for a reading and they don't believe in a reading that they're going to receive. It does create a lot of chaos in my space. It does create a lot of stagnation in when you're going to receive your reading. So, fix your energy, because I can feel it. Okay. But yeah, so we get that expansion, and now we're at the MC line, which is the space of success and achievements, and kind of like that status, spiritual status, if you will. And so now that we're in that 10th house, that's starting in the spiritual social realm, patient and present, Ashe. And that brings us into the Aquarius energy. So we're also experiencing that expansion, that ninth house expansion. Like I told you, a lot of spirits getting promoted, demoted, etc., etc. And so, like, it's also changing the way our spirit interacts with other spirits around us. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all been having dreams that your spirit has been promoted, and just like Adonis said in the comment section, he just got confirmation of his spiritual promotion. Some of you guys have been receiving, not so much as some of y'all have been getting demoted spiritually, because some of y'all been playing with y'all spirits and energy and stuff, and been using it for fiat notes and stuff like that instead of what you're supposed to be using it for. So now you can barely use it right now and you don't know why. That's probably why. But some of you guys are being redirected with your spiritual energy. Like, you know what? We don't even need this anymore. We don't need people doing this anymore. So we're going to move you over here. In fact, we don't have telephone lines from the physical to the non-physical over here anymore. So we don't need you even working on those lines anymore. We're going to move this over here. We're going to move that. So, you know, a lot of you guys are experiencing this in your dreams and then having these different things going on in your waking life thereafter. Okay. Um, and we move draining ourselves for what? Exactly. Draining yourselves for what? Um, and that comes again with what I was saying earlier with the Venusian placement next to Lilith. And Venus is next to Lilith on the tropical Vedic and the Draconic chart. So not only are we getting that rebellious energy and our list of priorities and how we value ourselves and value our others and our mindset, it's also happening around us in our interactions. And it's also happening on a spiritual level too. Our souls are learning to change what they prioritize and how they value themselves and how they value each other on a spiritual level as well. So all of that is happening at the same time. All three planes is happening at the same time. So being aware of that is very heavy. Everyone got a chance to start over and get it right. Yeah, everybody got a chance. So if you didn't do anything with it, if you're still on the this worldly realm of value and stuff like that, and you're not flowing with the changes that you see happening around you, like it's going to be harder for you to maintain those things that you've been indoctrinated to keep with all this transformation going on. It really is. It's going to get really difficult, y'all, and it's going to get worse. It's not going to get any better because on all three planes, change is wanted, change is necessary, and it's imperative, you know what I'm saying, for the generations that are coming up under these stars. Like I said, I'm reading transit charts, but you got to remember this is somebody's birth chart. You know what I'm saying? This is a few different people's birth charts. You know what I'm saying? So like we have to keep in mind that we're transitioning to new souls, to these new souls with these placements coming into this place. So if you're trying to hold on to stars that were situated back in the 50s and the 40s where Setna was sitting in Taurus and all of our spirits was all about the physical world and that's all we cared about, but we also liked love, but we did it at the same time. We like love, we like material things, and we like pieces of paper, and we liked, you know, all the things you can create and manifest. Well, Setna's not there no more. Now Setna's in Gemini. So now it's about community, intellect, and wisdom. You know what I'm saying? Now it's about in connection, connectivity. So what you gonna do with that? Now that it's no longer physical, you're still gonna try to hold on to the Setna being in Taurus when I clearly said Setna's not in Taurus anymore. Not only that, we're giving birth to children whose Setna is not in Taurus. And I need y'all to grasp that heavily because we're here to relay information and to nurture the future. And if the future is not being born under the same stars that we were born, then we need to learn to adapt to the transit chart for these children that are born under them. Sedna and Gemini, yeah, definitely has been deeply inspiring and definitely moving us towards more communication, this electronic communication getting heavier and heavier, people being more and more transparent on it, people being more and more into the celestial spiritual energy, people being able to read text messages and hear the voice and feel the energy between the text message and all that stuff like that. All of that is going to keep getting stronger and stronger to where like connections are going to, we're training our connections to be more non-physical. It's going to be more and more non-physical. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that like you're not going to have physical people around you. When you start having physical people around you, you're going to be more and more sensitive to their energies than you are to their actual physical self. You know what I'm saying? So coming back to the chart, we in the 10th house with it. We have Saturn over here giving us the challenges that we need at an 8th degree, which is the degree of building and destroying and what we see as successful. Okay. And that's sitting in Pisces. So again, our spirit is still, you know, moving forward in that energy. What do you see as successful? What is aspiring? What is inspiring? Also transformational challenges to the infrastructure. Saturn sitting in its home house and is being directed by Pisces, which is Mayat. Whatever structure or infrastructure we have manifested and created in a society that is not in alignment with Mayat, it will be destroyed. It will be challenged until it is destroyed. Because not only do you have Saturn sitting in Pisces, you have Pluto sitting in Capricorn. Okay, so it's like heavy destruction to all those things. I know some of you guys are doing baby steps to attribute to the destruction. Like, I'll give you an example. When it comes to the Federal Reserve, we know that that's not in alignment with Maya on any type of way, shape, or form. The way they created it, the way they maintained it, the different people that they have terrorized to keep it. If I give you my date of birth, what could you tell me? If you give me your date of birth, I can tell you your numbers. I can give you a supreme mathematics, and I can give you your life path information. That's what I can do with your date of birth. So, yes, this is my this is the last bit of my Saturn return. My Saturn in my Draconic chart is in Pisces, so I'm still in my Saturn return. But now I'm in my Saturn return on the spiritual level. 2, 3, 6, 7. Okay. All right. I'll give you. I'm gonna write that down. Well, you know what? I'll do it right now. So you're born on the day of 3. You're born on the day of emotion and creativity. Also in the day of understanding. You deal with Bina. That's the chip on the shoulder. Make sure it stays light. Make sure that you're standing under the things that are in alignment with how your spirit really feels. You're going to take that 3. You're going to put it into the month of 2. You were born in the month of Chokma, which is the month of wisdom and mercy. So you create, when you create things, and your whatever understanding you have, you applicate it to get your discernment. Okay, so if you're standing under something and you start applicating it, and you get wisdom from how you applicate it in different social settings, whatever, and you don't like the return of that, don't be afraid to erase the board. Don't get stagnant in that. That 3 and 2 come together and make the walking in the power of your truth. And if you're not walking in the power of your truth because you're being very stubborn and emotionally connected to what you've been taught to stand under, rather than, the malleability, the flexibility, the flow of standing under multiple things, you'll be doing yourself a disservice. So now we're walking in the power of our truth. We're going to bring it to the year. You were born in 1967, so you got knowledge. You got knowledge being born, which most of us were born in knowledge being born. We're very intellectual beings, and we like to give birth to the things that we know, which is why we have all these things around us, all these nice inventions and everything like that. We were born in the era of inventors and manifestors. So you have knowledge being born, which brings us to knowledge in our cipher, which is knowledge. Then you have equality. You like equality in your space. Reciprocation is here, is very important here, because not only do you have the 6 of equality, you also have the 7 of God, but 7 is also Libra scales. So everything has to be balanced for you. If it's not balanced, you don't feel equality, you don't want it, right? That 6 and 7 come together, make 13 as a karmic debt number. Be mindful of expressing the things that you know. Again, coming back to that 3 and 2, right? So that's 4, that's 5. So you were born in the year of 5. You were born in the year of walking in the power of your truth, which is very powerful. I love that for you. So you got a 5 and 5. So heavy on the Leo energy. If you have any Leo energy in your chart, that's a guide for you. Paying attention to your 5th house placements is also a guide for you. Be mindful of being overly dramatic. That's not necessary for you to get your point across, or for you to get people to feel how you feel, or be able to empathize and sympathize with you. If anybody pulls you into that place, then you got to remove yourself. Overall, your life path is a 1. You are a life path 1 person. You are here for intellect and knowledge. And a lot of that intellect and knowledge is going to come from you putting that 3 into that 2. You are not here to stand under things, all the time. You're here to fluctuate. Okay. Can I do you? 62680. Okay. I'm going to do you next, and then I'm going to take everybody else. You just put yours in there if you want me to do yours. But I'm going to try to get through this Draconic chart. I'm almost done though. All right. So we got 626.8. So you were born in the day of 26. That's wisdom and equality. Equality is big for you because you have two 6s there, right? So the reciprocation is heavy for you. Dealing with your daily routine, paying attention to details. Don't get too caught up in the details, because then you can overlook a lot of things. Getting too close to the picture, you got to move back sometimes, okay? And just look at all the different, because that's a gift of the 6 too, but that can easily be a gift of the 6s, that the 6s overlook, is the ability to take a step back and look at the whole picture, because you get too caught up in the details. So work on that, find a balance in that. Prioritize yourself, your daily routine and health and wellness, but also finding wisdom and how to be of service to other people too. But not have discernment on who deserves you being of service. Because because I know you like to give, don't you? That gives you a sense of power. It makes you feel good. It feeds your solar plexus chakra. And your solar plexus chakra is usually the energy that talks to you when you see someone in need and you want to give them. That's that 2 6 that comes together and makes 8. And that 8 is the solar plexus chakra and that sense of empowerment. So be mindful, like, not everybody needs that energy. And a lot of people are going to feed off of your solar plexus chakra. They're going to be like, yo, it makes them feel good. And then also remember that when you're complaining too. When you complain, I give, I give, I give, I give. You do, but it makes you feel good. So you're not just doing it for them. You're doing it for you too. And remind yourself that, okay? So you're going to take that 8, you're going to put it into the month of 6. So we're still in that space of equality, paying attention to the details of things. We're still in that space of being of service to other people. You really like to do for others. I love that for you. And that's like 626. That's like Cancer, right? Yeah. You in your happy place doing stuff for other people. So you're going to take that 8 and you're going to put it into the 6. And that brings you to a 1 and 4. So now you have this knowledge, right? This knowledge of what kind of energy you want to give to, how you want to service people. You love to learn things, right? Because that 6 is heavy Virgo energy. So pay attention to your Mercurian places, your 6th house placements, and your Virgo placements, because that'll, if you are having difficulty with figuring out how to help people and what your niche is, because you could probably put yourself in a space where you try to be you try to help with every little thing, but some things just aren't for you to help. Like, I volunteer at a church, and something that the pastor, she makes a joke. I love her jokes, but one thing she said to me was, she said, I stay in my cart on the train. The train is moving, but I do not leave my cart. This is my cart, and sometimes they kick me. Sometimes if I try to go in somebody else's cart, they'll kick me out because that ain't my cart. So you got to find your cart on a train. You not being in every cart and you not driving the train and being in the caboose, that's not going to stop the train from moving. The train is going to move no matter what. You have to trust the train to move. Find your cart. Okay, that way you're not draining yourself trying to be everywhere and be everything to everybody. And then, like, what about me? You know what I'm saying? So work on that sense of equality. And that's what's going to help you walk in the power of your truth, because you're going to take that 8, you're going to put it in the 6. It's going to bring you to a 1 and 4. That's that knowledge that you now have and the foundation you're going to build with that knowledge, right? And then that's going to bring you to that power of your truth, that Leo energy. Again, bring you to that 5. Be mindful of the dramatics and the complaining, because you do this for you too, buddy. And so you were born in 1 and 9, reminding you, anybody born in the 1900s, we are in the age of the inventors, building things with our intellect. So as we think of something, we got to write it down. We got to write a book about it. We got to invent something. We got an ebook. We got a business. We got an organization. We have a community structure. We're building houses. And every time we think of something, we got to put it in the physical. That's the 1900s, all right? So that's the knowledge being born, knowledge in our cipher. That's knowledge right there. And then you were born in 80, so transformation, death, and rebirth. Heavy on the solar plexus chakra once again. So you like to be in powerful positions, being in a managerial position, being in charge, giving instruction and stuff like that. It's heavy for you. Pinkies up, but keep your nose to a minimal. You know what I'm saying? So overall, you're born in the year of 9. So born in the year of giving birth. 9 is that philanthropist energy. Oh my God, you are such a giver. I love that for you, Miss Sunshine. That makes sense. But you are such a giver. The philanthropy, you want a utopia. And I want to give you a key here. The utopia that you're looking for is not the utopia that everybody needs. Okay. And so now in the space, like when I was talking about the Draconic chart, you want to find that soul tribe that's in alignment with the utopia that you're looking for, instead of forcing that love and that support and that service and all that you have to give, instead of forcing that on other people that's not in alignment with that. Your spirit is like yearning in that Gemini placements. It's definitely yearning for that community, right? That you deserve, that's going to be in alignment with that give and take with them, the 6s of equality that you got going on. So born in the 9, we're going to take that 5, we're going to put it into the 9, bring you back to that knowledge and foundation with that knowledge. So overall, you're a life path 5. So heavy on the Leo energy, being creative. Love is heavy here. You're a big love bug, and I love that for you, because you do a lot of giving, and it does give you power to give. That's what the sunshine does, right? You're a fellow sunshine. We both here. So be mindful of the dramatics. Again, same thing with my double 5 that I just read. Be mindful of the dramatics, because you give because you want to give. You know what I'm saying? So that's the mathematics that I have for you. 3 Virgo placements. See, I know. Hey, V's Co. Anyone who likes to comment. Anybody who likes and comments on my pin, I'll do the same for you. Yeah, peace. Y'all make sure y'all get to know each other. Make sure y'all align with each other and support each other in the comments. I have no problem with that whatsoever. Yes, I get you, Sunshine. You got it. Just be mindful. But we're going to get back into the Draconic chart, y'all. Again, if y'all want, something, feel free to put it in the chat. I'm here for y'all today. Today is Humpday reading day. So we are in Neptune. So now we have moved on to the 11th house. So now we're in the house of socializing, social detachment, social engagement. We're in the space of electronic communication, revolutionary energy. Mind you, we're talking about the Draconic chart here. So spiritually speaking, this is the scissors that cut us into the womb, cut us out. And we have Neptune sitting there in Pisces in the 11th house. So again, coming to that, y'all are really craving like a spiritual circle. Your spirit need to be fed. If y'all are in jobs that are not feeding your spirit, eventually, if you don't get so fed up that you leave, it's going to be certain happenings, because Neptune is in Pisces on the tropical and on the Vedic, and I don't think I want to play with it, because I don't play with Neptune. Neptune is a very big planet, and Neptune and Pisces are in alignment with Maya. So if you are in different places and situations that are not in alignment with your personal Maya, you're going to feel a lot of resistance. Car is going to break down. You're not going to be able to get to those places you're trying to get to. Having fallouts with certain kind of people. Paperwork fucked up. Your electronics getting messed up. Getting lost. Certain volatile situations happening. Like the dog ate your keys. It's going to be bad, like crazy. Like, yo, I can't make this up. This is so crazy. Why is this happening? Because you're not where you're supposed to be. You're not where your soul is supposed to bring you. And again, I'm going to keep reminding y'all, because I know money is a big thing here. That's like the biggest tool of the age of Pisces, because it's built on belief. You have to believe in the Federal Reserve for it to exist. If you don't believe in it, it don't exist. If you don't believe me, go on the Federal Reserve. Look up the Act of 1933 and the basis and the reason why it was even created. It says people were stopping their beliefs in the bank. People were no longer believing. And if they don't have your belief, they cannot exist. And so that our spirit is moving away from that, because Sedna is no longer in Taurus. We are no longer believing these things, and it's going to keep getting stronger and stronger. It's going to get harder and harder to hold on to these things. So you have to think beyond money when you're moving into your soul experience. Am I saying be irrational and unrealistic about how do you get your resources in your life? That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you are moving out of alignment with my yachts, guess what? The cosmic energy, these planetary placements, the electromagnetic field that is being created is going to push you. And I didn't even get to Uranus yet. Spirit said the Federal Reserve is falling. It is falling. You think that is now? See, I talked about the Federal Reserve last reading that I did when we talked about the Vedic chart, the Vedic chart. And I talked to y'all heavy about the next Fed meeting. The next Fed meeting is under the eclipse. They are silent right now. They will be silent for the next 10 days. They will be coming back out to the public on the day of knowledge being born. That's my birthday. My birthday is on 9/19. And that's when they're going to come out and speak to everybody after having a 2-day meeting under the eclipse. The eclipse is Virgo and Pisces. Okay? They're going to do their little things under the harvest moon and have their conversations and do their invocation rituals on the kind of reality they want to see with their Federal Reserve note. In the meantime, in between time, you're going to be having your rituals and stuff like that with what your spirit wants. And it might not be in alignment with what they want. And you have to be okay with that. This is a game. This is not, you can look at it as a game, but this is your soul contract and your soul experience. So you don't want to get caught up in the world stuff when we're just souls having a human experience. So we have Neptune over there in Pisces in the 11th house. Then, of course, we have the North Node in the 11th house too. New beginnings in our social space, new beginnings in the revolutionary energy. Aries energy is not always the happy-go-luckiest energy that we would like for it to be. Sometimes it's warlike, sometimes it's nasty, sometimes it's very volatile. It is a fire vibe, so be mindful of that, especially if you decide to be the resistance to this new beginning in the 11th house of revolutionary energy, being unique, being rebellious and going against the grain, detaching from societal norms, which Aquarius usually does. Then we have Chiron, which is our womb, sitting at a 15 degree.
My brother is an Aquarius.
You're an Aquarius moon. Chiron is our wounds, our spiritual wounds. A lot of us have celestial wounds and spiritual wounds. Get into your Draconic chart and find out about them. Some of you guys are probably already aware of them. I know some people where, like, I remember having like certain kind of friends, and people be like, I don't know why they act like that. Like, they had such a dope upbringing. Their parents were so nice. This was so like this, and that was so like that, and they couldn't put their finger on why they, were reacting to the world the way that they were. And a lot of it was because it was spiritual wounds. It wasn't nothing they experienced in this physical life, for real, for real. It was something they experienced in just like an overall realm of their lives. You know what I'm saying? Like, they came here with that energy. And this was just like how they're experiencing it in this body, in this realm of things. And so you guys got to keep that in mind too. Not everything was from your mommy and daddy in this life. Some of that stuff was like, spiritual energy that you guys have been carrying with y'all life after life, here. And we don't want to keep getting reincarnated here. We want promotions. We want to elevate. We want to ascend. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to keep recycling. That's not the goal, for real, for real. Like, it's a dope experience, but it's not really the goal. So keep that in mind too. There are certain entities here that, make you want to invoke that and harvest that into your life, because, some of us don't know any better, and you can embrace the fact that you have done that. Some of you guys are super seniors and that's okay. You do what you need to do, and some of you guys are having fun. Like, you know what? I'm just having fun. It feels good to get straight A's at this point. I'm just kind of scared to go to the next grade. I might start getting D's and F's again. It is what it is. Like, y'all know what it is for yourselves and y'all personal energies. Thank y'all so much for tapping the screen. Please remember to tap the screen, like, share, all that fun stuff. But yeah, this is our spiritual wounds, and cosmically speaking, as a collective, it's time to cleanse these wounds. And we're not cleansing these wounds with water; we're cleansing them with fire. And a lot of it is going to happen in our social circles as we, set off this new moon energy. And then we're going to take that 11th house up to the end of Aquarius, and we start the 12th house, which is that Piscean house in Taurus. So again, more spiritual connection to the things that we value, things that we prioritize. The Mayat scales. Half of my face. Oh yeah, I remember you showing me those burns on your face. Definitely, like, spiritual cleansing. Like, those things are, Aries is not playing either. Like, last summer, we had forest fires out here all crazy. You see a lot of things happening with now they got these laser beams and fire from that way too. So you're going to see a lot of fire things occurring. We have Uranus at a 19 degree, giving knowledge being born. So Uranus gives that progressive push that we need to move in a different space. If sitting in Taurus is spiritually, we're getting progressive pushes into our spiritual priorities. You know what I'm saying? Again, y'all gonna get those loud screams from your spirit telling you this ain't it. Hey, jerk chicken. Hey, Danelle. Welcome, welcome. This ain't it. This ain't what we supposed to be doing. It's not where I want to be. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. And it's like, however you choose to mentally and physically respond to that spirit's unhappiness is up to you. A lot of you guys are still moving around understanding what you've been taught and what you've been indoctrinated with, knowing that that is not truth, knowing that that is mere belief. And without our belief, it doesn't exist. And like I said, and I'm going to keep reminding y'all, we are reading transit charts, but these are the birth charts of our future souls on this plane. And we know that these souls are very important, and it's very important to nurture and guide these souls. But if you're allowing certain entities that are still trying to hold on to the old way of life to groom these souls, guess what? Their spirits are going to scream too. And that's why you have a lot of angry young adults on this plane right now. They're pissed. And every time something bad happens, they're destroying buildings, they're burning stuff down, they're fighting, they're getting violent. They're getting very violent. The fire cleansing is for real. Absolutely, it is. And that's because we're not properly cultivating these babies that were born under these stars. We're still giving them the upbringing that we had, that our parents had, that their grandparents had. And what stars were they under? You know what I'm saying? They was at the beginning of the 1900s. We now in the 2000s. We're now in wisdom. We're not in knowledge being born no more. We're now in wisdom in our cipher. So that means there needs to be more practicing and discernment. Y'all can't keep being scared to apply your knowledge, to have the experiences of what application of this new knowledge brings you. You know what I'm saying? So keeping that in mind. Um, so yeah, Uranus is gonna give us those progressive pushes in that house of Maya, and then that brings us back to the ascending line. So this is how we started the new moon energy. May I get a card pull, please? Oh yes, most definitely. You can get a card pull. Spirit said pull these ones. I'm gonna pull this one for you. So now we make it to 10-2. 10-2 is the next new moon that we're going to have. It's also, we just entered Mars hour for the day. It's about to be 1. And 10-2 is going to be the next new moon. It's also going to be an eclipse with Libra energy, Libra Virgo energy, that divine alignment. So let's start with the AC line. So our rising line is going to be in Cancer. So now we're rising in that nurturing energy that our spirit was searching for in community. So for the, for this month, if you're going to be finding that community, by the time we get to the next new moon, you should at least find like a couple of souls, a couple of alignments, a couple of events that are walking you into those doors of spiritual nurturing. And some of you guys found this page, this might be the next step to your spiritual nurturing. That's why I said, y'all in the comments, y'all start talking to each other. Y'all came here in this space at the same time for a reason. Use it. You see somebody commenting and saying certain things and it's invoking something in you, speak on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, who is this person? Who's that person? What y'all talking about? Like, I want to know what you know. Like, I want, that's in Cancer for the next 8 months is giving me all the batteries. Oh, believe. Mars is over there next to my Chiron doing things. um, But we do have Mars over here right on top of the line at a 9-degree energy giving birth. We are being motivated to give birth, be born into that nurturing space in our spiritual realm. And then we have Fortune being here as well at a 15-degree knowledge and walking in the power of our truth of what our soul needs to be nurtured with. Y'all got to stop denying y'all soul's needs. You guys are spirits in human bodies. You guys are not human bodies with energy and walking spirits and I got a brain and all of that. Nah, it's quite the opposite, all right? All right, before I get to the second house, let me pull this card for Adonis. 5 of Wands. Walking in the power of your truth, taking action. And of course, I'll pull a fire card for you, right? But yes, some type of battling you going through, as you can see in the cards, taking that energy forward to walk in the power of your truth, it's going to trigger other people and you're going to have to battle it out in some type of way, shape, or form. But that's what I got. And then you put a 14 and a 15, you leave in the safe space. Yeah, most likely. There's a lot of energy around that, a lot of energy pulling you back in that. So we have we go into the second house. The second house is the house of priorities. This is the house of the heart chakra. It's the value for our spirit again, and we have that happening in Leo. So it's happening in that space of like our creative energy, walking in power of your truth as Leo is that vibe. So nurturing that power of your truth. Then we move into the third house, the community. Your spirit moving in that community and communications. That starts off in Leo, still giving y'all that vibe that, the community that you're supposed to have, they're going to push you, they're going to cultivate you, they're going to empower you, they're going to help you walk around like that brave lion type energy. And then you're going to bring it into Virgo. Virgo is that service, being of service. So not only are you, you guys are empowering each other. So if you're around people that don't make your spirit feel empowered, and confident and giving you that creative, problem solving energy and helping you with your moral and integral code and your daily habits and routine and stuff like that, this ain't for you. You're not in the space that you should be in. That third house is straddling between Leo and Virgo for a reason. Those are the two main spiritual traits you're supposed to find in that soul tribe, okay? whether it's that interpersonal relationship with another loved one. But the third house doesn't really deal with interpersonal as much as the seventh house. The third house more so deals with your neighborhood. So your neighborhood matters too. Some of y'all got to move. Some of y'all are in the community that's just supposed to be. It's not always as much as, oh, we got to find the right Facebook group or whatever. Some of y'all don't live in the area I'm supposed to be living in. And I suggest tapping into your astrocartography chart about that, if you want to get into that. And I also do astrocartography charts if anybody's interested. Um, then we get into the IC line of things. And with the IC line, we are referring to your midheaven. This is your sense of belonging, and this impacts the home and family and your community. And so we have Mercury sitting there right before, like kind of on top of the IC line at a 14 degree in Leo. Again, the community needs to be nurturing that daily routine, that moral and integral code. You guys should be learning from each other and with each other. You have, excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong chart. Shit. You have the IC line in Virgo. I started reading 9-2 again. You have the IC line in Virgo. So it's at a 19 degree. So knowledge being born and your daily routine. And then right after is when you have the placements for the eclipse. So you're going to have the moon at 26 degrees Virgo. Again, remember, this is the Draconic chart, talking about your soul experience, intuition. So for my spellcasters out there that want to harness this new moon energy a certain kind of way, right here is coming into a space of your daily routine, what you want to invoke into your space, what you wish to harvest. So it's kind of like we get two harvest eclipse back to back. Um, Finding balance and wisdom and how you want to be serviced in your space of equality, in the more integral code, in a space of power. So you definitely going to see some shit happen with politics and I told y'all already, the next eclipse that we get on the 17th, you got the Federal Reserve doing their thing on October 2nd under that new moon. It probably be whatever candidates is out here doing something, probably something around that realm. Because all of these lineups are in Libra. You have the South Node, of course, at 0 degrees, giving us that fourth house energy in Libra. You have the Sun at 3 degrees, bringing us to 3 is that energy of understanding, whatever, law, energy, infrastructure you stand under. That's that Saturn energy of Bina that rolls over the third sphere. Um, Experiencing that in the Libra scales on the fourth house and nurturing. Also, Libra energy rules over the bonds and contracts in your interpersonal relationships. So, whatever contracts that y'all have, job contracts, your birth certificate is a contract, social security numbers is a contract, your contract with your housing, um, you know, IRS contracts, or whatever forms you sign when you sign your kid up for school, all these different things. These are all contracts that you have, right? And these are all, your word is also a bond. So if you ever told anybody you were going to do anything, or you said anything to anybody about anything that like kind of like volunteered your energy or a certain happening in your space, like all of this, we're nurturing these contracts and these bonds. Where you're into it, you're having these aha moments about your contracts and your bonds. So please, I would definitely expect some eye-opening aha experience, especially if you know how to listen to people that speak in at least a certain kind of way. Mercury is also here at a 4 degree, and so is Lilith. So at a 4 degree as well. So Mercury and Lilith are experiencing that occultation. So you're going to see that rebellious energy happening on top of that moral and integral code. You're going to see that primordial energy happening on top of the harvest. This is definitely an awesome day for like dark arts harvest. Doesn't necessarily have to be immoral dark arts, but we know that the immoral people will be playing on this in some type of way, shape, or fashion. But like I see a lot of stuff happening with like a government aha moment, and depending on who you stand under, that determines what's going on. So the fifth house starts in Libra, so we get a little bit loose, a little bit more, because the fourth house is the crab underneath the shell. You know what I'm saying? So then we get to the fifth house, we start to loosen up with the lion, with the creativity and the love and stuff like that. And that's sitting in Scorpius energy. The sun is trining Jupiter today. Oh yeah, so I said that earlier when I was talking to Goddess. I was like, I feel like today is going to be a good day. It's a good day today. I already feel it. And then it's trining Jupiter on the day of Obatala anyway. Today's Thursday, so Jupiter ruled day. So we had Venus sitting in Scorpius on our soul at a 4 degrees of foundation. Um, Transformations, creative transformations happening in our soul experiences, right? Solar plexus chakra. It's going to be a big transformation in what you guys prioritize. I promise you it is. Also in your sense of value, places of beauty, physical items, all of those things. It's definitely a big transformation. And it's like your soul wants to feel powerful. So whatever things that you guys are prioritizing, you're finding value in, you're loving, you find beauty, if it's taken away from the power of your soul, it's going to go away because Lilith and Mercury is not going to keep having it. Lilith and Mercury is going to break all them contracts if you don't break them. You go ahead and be the resistance to the spirits if you want to. Like I told y'all, I'm not interested. I'm not interested because when you think about it, we are more connected spiritually than we are physically. That's why we get so caught up in the eighth sphere of Sebek, which is the celestial technicians. They create all the labels, and it's easy to classify and label phenotypes and genotypes and demographics and all that shit. That's mad easy. But can you classify a soul? Not really, because the universe doesn't know good or bad. You just have agreeable and disagreeable. That was in the book that I read, Nature's Contract. That's what we're reading in the book club if anybody's interested in joining us. It's agreeable or disagreeable, or in the realms of electromagnetic field, are you attracting or repelling? That's not good or bad. But that doesn't make the magnet good or bad that it repels. It just means that those two energies don't belong together. You know what I'm saying? So having that sense of mindset is key here when we're dealing with the spiritual energy. But again, when we come back to the tropical, the way we want to intellectualize things, the way we want to think things, we want things to be bad. Because if it's bad, then we get to intellectualize or infer why the repelling happened. Instead of just saying, it just didn't fit. It just doesn't fit. Okay? So be mindful of how you verbalize things, and make sure you're speaking on the spiritual realm if that's what you want to do, or you're speaking on your tropical, your mindset if that's what you want to do. But when you play the magician card, you want to do it right. Like I see a lot of people trying to intellectualize their spirit, but their intellect still comes from that indoctrinated space to say something is good or bad or right or wrong. Based on what? Based on what? Because if we do the root work of what you just said, I'm pretty sure we can go back to something that that your spirit knows is not right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? So, that's neither here nor there, but it is there. Anyway, the vertex is also sitting in Scorpius in the 5th house. So empowerment. So how well you are empowering yourself with your priorities and your value and stuff like that on a spiritual level, you're going to experience that. You're going to absorb that. So if a lot of you guys, if you guys are quieting your spirit and not speaking into your intuition and not allowing your intuition to take the wheel sometimes, and not learning how to flow with the stars and stuff, not learning how to be a part of that ease energy, you're gonna experience it. You're gonna absorb that. You know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna happen. Then the 5th house even dabbles into Sagittarius energy, so we get that expansion. So we start off at Libra, we end in Sagittarius with the 5th house. So we get like 3 different elements with that energy of walking in the power of your truth. That's really exciting. Hayes energy. So then we get the 6th house of equality, the daily routine, health and wellness, moral and integral code, what you're teaching and what you're learning, what you're speaking and listening to, being of service. We start that in that philanthropic, optimistic, generous Sagittarius energy, and we move that up to the descending line. And the descending line is what you absorb for others. Like I told you, the ascending line is what you give out. The descending line is what you receive and how you're being influenced. And that's happening at a 9 degree in Capricorn. What are you giving birth to? I led you up from the planets from IC to DC. Once you get that up, that's when you get to the DC line. Now, what are you giving birth to in Capricorn? You're putting that in the root chakra of your spirit. Remember what I told y'all? Capricorn on the Draconic chart is your soul's contract. What are you supposed to be doing here? What's the and what is the infrastructure or the root of your soul experience, right? So what you do from that IC line to that DC line is where the transformation in that spiritual root is going to be at. You're in control of how this next life is going to be for you. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's in this physical body, because, you know, I think that we feel like our physical body has to die for us to have a new life. And sometimes y'all be experiencing new lives in one day. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you experience new lives in every few years or something. Like, if you take hey, Sammy, welcome. If you take a look back and you look at your life in the different stages, your developmental stages throughout the moment that you're at now, you're like, damn, I did live multiple lives. I am nowhere near where I was back then, and I can see the milestones, the timestamps in between them. You know what I'm saying? So have that moment to look back with your 2020 vision. You'll see that. So we're going to take that seventh house. That's that house of bonds and contracts. How you doing? How you doing, Sammy? The bonds and contracts and the interpersonal relationships, while that's in Capricorn, because that's heavy. The contracts, what is your soul contract? The seventh house being in Capricorn is some serious business. What's the soul contract? What is your soul tied to? It's, you know, these soul contracts is crazy because we have these entities in the physical world that have physical contracts on us, birth certificates and all this stuff like that, and their intentions were making them solar. That's why we have that term. This person is selling their soul. We're all selling our soul. Whether you're selling your soul for Hollywood or you're selling your soul to work at T-Mobile or Applebee's, we're all selling our soul. We all sold a contract to sell our energy, our solar plexus chakra, to be in a space for some fiat currency. Hey, freedom born. So, be mindful of that. um, so we have that, and guess who's sitting over there saying, I'm going to challenge all of that? Pluto. Pluto is sitting over there at a 23, bringing us wisdom and understanding that has us walking in the power of our truth on that space. So transformations are happening in those soul contracts that you guys have been signing, the soul contracts that you guys have been duped into signing, the soul contracts that your lineage, your bloodline have been duped into signing on your behalf that you just walked into. You know what I'm saying? And then you have the eighth house starting a little bit in Capricorn, a transformation house happening in Capricorn. And then it also happened in Aquarius. So Aquarius is ruling over that society, the detachment, revolutionary energy, also deals with electronic communications, very heavy here. So a lot of transformations happening there. So you'll see some people moving, where they communicate with on these platforms. A lot of transformations happening on these platforms. As a pendulum swings for power, it's always going to be a tug of war for power in some type of place, because there are a lot of beings and entities out here that have overactive solar plexus chakras, which we can see. They can't fully control themselves, so they make it their business to try to control everything else around them. Hey, thank you for the follow without a name. I appreciate you. Um, and that's just a part of the game, and then you also have that energy that creates transformations and how society moves with each other. And Aquarius can also deal with people that are separated from society, like in hospitals or jails, boarding schools and colleges and nursing homes and stuff like that too. So a lot of transformation is happening in the structures in those spaces as well. So then we move into the ninth house. The ninth house starts in Aquarius, so we have that heavy transformation and pendulum swinging there, and then we have that optimistic expansion happening thereafter. Because right after we destroy things, expand it and find joy in it. And like, this is why those things had to be removed. This is why those things had to be changed. It wasn't to hurt you. It wasn't to destroy things. It's not like a why me type of thing. It just has to happen because we're swinging the pendulums, right? This is a beautiful time to be here. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful time to be here. That expansion is going to make its way up to Pisces energy. So we have that Sagittarius optimistic sacral chakra energy going from not only that social energy up into Maya. Your soul is going to find joy in these spaces. Saturn is also sitting there at a 7 degree, the degree of balance, the degree of the Libra scales. Also in supreme mathematics, 7 is God. Okay. We have Saturn sitting at that 7 of the bonds and contracts, creating challenges in those spaces for us. Are these contracts in alignment with my eye? Oh, when I tell you, I promise you, October 2nd is going to be such a big aha moment. I feel it with Saturn in this place, y'all. I feel it so heavily. Like, if y'all know how to hear, y'all going to hear it. They're going to say something crazy. It's 111 when I say this. Yo, I felt it. It was like a big, like, yeah, this is the day that I feel it. It's going to be a big aha moment of, hey, Dash, welcome, welcome. Of like, are these contracts in alignment with my aunt? Are they righteous? Are we breaking our celestial contract of balance with these things? And it's going to be some energy that's going to be like, yes. They're going to do something about it. I just felt that so deeply. Ooh. Then we get to the 10th line of success and achievements. This 10th line is like, your career success. This is social and career success. And it's at a knowledge born line. It's at a 19 degree, knowledge being born here, knowledge in our cipher, knowledge. Again, if you guys can hear, bro, it's I love this for us. So that line is going to be there in Pisces and at Maya, and then you have Neptune right after. So, and Neptune is going to be at a 2-1. So that's wisdom and knowledge that brings us to a sense of understanding. So, hopefully, this brings us to a new level of understanding because we have wisdom already. Because during this month, from new moon to new moon, you guys are going to be putting those steps forward, defining your celestial tribe. And remember, we are in Virgo energy. We are also under the energy of Mut or Mut. I don't know how to pronounce it. My bad. I think it's Mut though. In Muti, which is the celestial energy that goes across the blade doing this. And so, my bad. Don't look like the Jordan symbol, but or the starberries. Um, but that is the divine womb. That's the celestial moon. As like physical bodies to go in the dirt. The spirit goes up there, spirits are coming down, going into the dirt, new bodies being born, right? That divine circle is happening there. And so being in this energy, then being in Virgo energy in the space of learning. So during this period of time, yeah, you can ask me a question, of course. So during this period of time, as you find in your community and stuff, y'all should be learning about this. Like whatever it is that, if I'm saying some stuff right now and you don't know what I'm talking about, by the time we get to October 2nd, you should be around a certain level of community, or you should be, in this Virgo energy practiced on a daily routine of learning and finding that community with these placements in Gemini. We started the second off with so well that by the time you get to October 2nd, you're going to be versed in certain things. That knowledge is going to be there for you. It might not be like first language yet, but it's going to be there to where when this information comes out about whatever these entities is about to do with this Libra scale, that's going to bring us to this Pisces aha, you're going to be with the aha moment, like, what the they is playing with our contracts, okay? The North Node is also here, right on that cusp line of Pisces and Aries at the 0 degree, of course, and it's in that 10th house of uh, achievements and aspirations and stuff like that. So new beginnings in that space of what kind of careers that we have, who are in certain careers. Like I was talking about this earlier about like we need more people that are spiritual in education positions. And you don't necessarily have to be like, oh, let me sign up for the public school system, but do the after school programs, create an organization, create co-ops for the homeschoolers, influence parents to be more comfortable with homeschooling, or creating those safe spaces for before and after care or something like that. Us creating those spaces and putting us in those positions. We need more people that you don't have to be a politician or whatever. There are certain entities that do want to infiltrate these places, but if that's not what you want personally, you could be like, okay, well, I'm just going to create a nonprofit organization. I'm going to shake hands with these people and teach them these things, and we're going to have these energy exchanges and go back and forth and meeting of the minds. I'm curious as to whether my journey in this part of the world is coming to an end. And what makes you think that it's coming to an end? Because usually when we feel endings, there's no such thing as an end, because no energy can be created or destroyed. And if you're aware of the fact that you are having a human experience as an energy, then you know that there is no end for you. So what part of this journey do you feel ending? Do you feel your physical body ending? Because if your physical body is ending, that means that you have some non-physical work to do somewhere else. But what I'm curious as to whether my journey in this part of the world, I want to know what part of the world and what makes you feel like there's an end, because then I'll be able to, feel your energy and give you a different kind of answer or more precise answer. You live in the West. Oh, I was just talking about that not too long ago. Some of y'all is not in the area you're supposed to be in. You might have to move. It might be time for you to move, especially if your spirit is feeling like, yeah, this is the end here. Life path 5 means walking in the power of your truth. Being more confident and courageous. You want to pay attention to your Leo placements, your fifth house, your sun, also your sun energy, because that's 5. That's Leo energy. So your name being Sunshine is cool. Like my name is Sunshine, and then when I started learning more and more, Sunshine is a childhood nickname. My mom gave me that nickname, and then I learned that I'm a Leo rising. My Jupiter is in Leo. Like I have all these like things going on. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. Like it be divine alignments, even when people that give you these things don't even know it. You're welcome, love. You know what, Dash? I would get into my astrocartography chart for you because you get into your astrocartography chart, it'll tell you the different experiences that you're supposed to have across the map or whatever based upon your chart. Um, and it might be an end for you where you're at. You know what I mean? You probably time to experience a different celestial placement over a different part of the map. So yeah, definitely check out your astrocartography chart and feel it, meditate on it, because it'll probably give you that aha, like, no, it's that I need to feel that planet now. Like you'll feel it. So yeah, we got so we get through Aries, right? We're in that 10th house of confidence and a career. And we have Chiron sitting here at 15th degree, so that's knowledge and walking in the power of truth, which brings us to a space of equality here. And that's how we're going to transmute our wounds into the new beginning. Walking in the power of our truth, despite what's going on, your spirit is going to crave it. If you're not walking in the power of your spiritual truth and you keep hiding it because you don't want people looking at you, you don't want people thinking that you're crazy, you still want to live in your tropical, you still want to live in the physical and your Vedic and what's happening around you. You don't want to play with the Draconic at all. Like that's your business. But I'm telling you, your spirit's going to get loud and it's going to drag your body, and you're going to feel that disconnection. Yeah, you might even experience it a lot in your dreams that there's a disconnect happening, especially if you have a lot of violent dreams. That violence in your dreams is letting you know you're having a war inside to create peace outside. And why? For what? If you're here to have a spiritual experience, like of course you're having a human experience, but you're here for your spirit. You're not here for the human shit. You know what I'm saying? Um, we're here to keep the physics going. And so then we move to Uranus happening. The 11th house starts in Aries a little bit. We get that last, that mutable energy of Aries in the 11th house. So now we're dealing with that, the social realm of things, revolutionary energy in the new beginnings. And it brings us also to Taurus, which is, our priorities, how we prioritize things. Uranus sitting there at 2-0. That's wisdom in our cipher. Uranus giving us the progressive pushes we need and the wisdom of our cipher and how we socialize. I was telling you guys about this in the Vedic chart. Who you hang out with is going to change, especially when you start listening to your spirit. You just got to learn how to welcome that. That 11th house is going to bring you to Gemini too. So you're just going to feel that energy. Then we come back to our Mayat house, our house of our Akashic records, our hidden dreams. And we have Jupiter there giving us the expansion that we need at the end of the road. Like, you don't went through the challenges over there in Pisces. You don't went to transmute your wounds in Aries. You don't went through the progressive pushes in Taurus. And now I'm just going to give you a big old Obatala hug in Gemini. And that's why it's so important right now between this new moon to new moon. Even if you find just one soul to align with and share ideals and just build with and just give you that spiritual nurturing, it will do you a wonder. It It would do you a wonder, especially for what we're going to experience beginning the next cycle and moving out of this eclipse energy. But this eclipse energy is going to be very, very heavy between September to the beginning of November, probably like to the middle of November. And then you got to remember, you guys are going to eventually start experiencing the planets going prograde. November, December energy. It's when certain planets, heavy planets, start going prograde. Pluto being one of them. That's going to be a heavy shift. And remember, when we go prograde, what we going to do? We're going to repeat these degrees again. So, like, I really want y'all to, like, during this period of time, find that community. Really tap into that Gemini energy. I promise you. Because, like I said, we start off this new moon with the Gemini energy being the ascendant line, and we're going into the next new moon with that Gemini energy being in our Akashic records. Also, you may meet somebody in your soul tribe, some community type energy at the next eclipse event you go to. Go to some eclipse events. That would be cool. But Jupiter is definitely going to give you all that expansion at that 14 degree. And it's going to help you walk in the power of your truth and give you the foundation with your knowledge. Ashe. So, of course, we make it. That 12th house brings you back up to Cancer, and then it brings you back into your ascendant line. So that's the astrological reading. So now we're going to get into the other part, which I'm sure some of you guys have been waiting for because this is Humpday readings. But what I like to do is I like to pull a tarot spread for each of my elements. Okay. And then I'm going to close y'all out because I got to get up in like 6 hours. Like, that's a lot. It's really not. I'm going to lay down and then my eyes are going to be open for mad long. That's what happens. But we can get started with the fire energy. Oh, y'all just going to throw cards at me? That's fine. Okay, my fire babies. You guys being the cardinal energy, y'all are the weavers. When I speak on fire, I'm speaking on Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries energy. Y'all are my weavers in the spiritual community. Right now, you guys are the cardinal energies. This is wherever fire is in your chart. Get in tune with your Draconic chart and where your fire is. So, where your fire is in the Draconic chart, that is the weaver. That is the leader to your daily routine, as this is sitting in the Mercury space of your daily routine health wellness. We went over that 6th house heavy, and then also talking about the fact that the 6th house is over there in Sagittarius anyway. That helps. Then you have peaceful warrior for my fire babies on this chart. Paying attention to Mars and the moon, that cardinal energy. Mars also being fire, moon intuitive energy. And then we have patience to my fire babies too. Pay attention to the connection between the Jupiter and the Venus there in that space of patience. Oh, here you go. Big card right there. So my fire babies, my fire placements on the Draconic chart. Y'all, when I have patience, y'all are those placements are the warriors and the leaders. So when you feel that restlessness, when you feel that tug, that pull on your energy, that's more so the fire placements in your Draconic chart. That's like, let's go. Allow your tropical and your Vedic charts to provide a sense of patience, because we know that light moves faster than your physical self, right? So there could be some sense of impatience with those fire placements in your soul. Peaceful warrior is a big one too. We are not here to burn stuff down. We're not here to throw hands. That is not in alignment with my yacht, y'all. I know that there are some people here that want to do that and stuff like that. And if that is their spiritual contract that they're being called to do, then so be it. I will say that they most likely will be returning, but they probably will be returning to sit in the fruits of their labor, and probably in that next life of being here, then they'll be able to sit down and not react in violence. But for some of you guys, if y'all know y'all not here to conduct violence and engage in violence, don't do it. That's not what you're here for. This is probably not, you probably don't have no reason to come back here again. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to be violent. I don't need to go against my yacht to prove to these people who obviously are not going in alignment with my yacht. You know what I mean? I don't need to do that. But some people that's a part of their story. That's what they do here. That's their sacrifice. They're like the Jesus energy. And Jesus made a sacrifice. We keep saying Jesus came back. Jesus came back mad times. We just didn't know it was Jesus. But that energy has came back mad times already. So having that mindset, he had to come back because he went through all this violence first. You know what I'm saying? So now, I'm pretty sure Jesus was quiet in the cut in the corner, enjoying the next life he had. He wasn't coming here on that violent shit this time around. And that's, what a lot of other people had. We have the reverse 9 of Pentacles for my fire babies, juggling that physical stuff. You know what I'm saying? Trying to engage in those 9 of Pentacles, trying to stay in engagements. Excuse me, my bad, YouTube. Trying to stay and engage with the physical world and being complete with the physical world and stuff like that is going to be very difficult to uphold, y'all. I'm telling y'all, there is no alignment with the physical world and where your soul is. And I think all of you guys can feel that to some degree, that there's something going on in your physical life, in your intellectual life, that is not in alignment with your soul. And, eventually, if you keep allowing your spirit to take the wheel and to drive the car, you're going to come to more, keys to open up doors to allow your spirit to have the experience it deserves to have. Ooh, Queen of Wands. Being a master of your actions is key here too. Sitting pretty with the actions. So it ain't so much the physical experience for you fire placements. It's the non-physical, like I said. So one thing y'all gonna learn is my tarot cards are the backup singers. I am David Ruffin. They do what I want them to do and not the other way around. We love it here. And then we have the Hermit card. So we pull the Virgo card, and in alignment with the Sephiroth of Chesed, which is that nurturing energy, and Tippereth, which is the heart, walking in the power of your truth. So we have the 4th sphere, and the 8. What is that? The 6th sphere. So pulling the Hermit card for y'all. Going within, going inward is key here. So we want to pay attention to the Draconic chart. So when y'all feel y'all soul, wanting to have certain experience, I'm put my camera down here. That way y'all can see my cards when I do my rewind. So when you feel your soul, wanting to have certain kind of experiences and pushing you into a certain kind of way after how we read this Draconic chart, the response is not to be like, let me like cover it up with working more or doing more physical stuff or engaging. Maybe I need to engage more in the physical world, and maybe I need to engage more in my indoctrination and stuff. That's not necessarily the solution. The solution is to go within to your spiritual realm and have a better conversation and connection with that energy. Moving in gratitude is heavy here too. Moving gratitude. See the pregnant lady, because we are in the energy of Mut, giving birth, being in our heart space. You see how we have the root chakra to the crown chakra? So below to the above is heavy here. And we're moving in gratitude for all the space. Hey V's, welcome. Moving in gratitude in all the space. We're moving and welcoming the connection. Because I'm telling you, when you go inward and you start embracing your spirit and stuff like that, your spirit is not trying to remove you completely from the physical experience. You're supposed to have the human experience. And when I'm saying these things, I hope that I'm not removing you guys from the physical experience you're supposed to have. You deserve to have a physical experience. But some people are having physical experiences that are not in alignment to their soul's contracts and their soul's needs, and their soul is telling them. A lot of that is to do with the way that society has been made up. And because people have been, some people have been whipped, some people have been tortured, some people have been burned at a stake or hung somewhere. Some people have been nailed to a cross for their soul that had brought them into this life to feel uncomfortable living in their spiritual truth. There's a fear of living in the spiritual truth in this space and time. You know what I'm saying? And then you have a lot of, like we had those grand awakenings that are moving us away from that fear. We're no longer moving in the fear, walking in our spiritual truth and our spiritual needs, and the more we move in that bravery and that confidence, it's going to start erasing more and more details of the physical world, of the physical routine that has been oppressing our spiritual self. And that's not to take away from the physical world, but you're definitely going to have a different life as you know it once you start walking in your spirit. Divine social problems. I told y'all that though, right? It's gonna be social problems. When you start walking in your spirit, there's gonna be a lot of people like, oh, you don't do this no more, you don't do that no more, this ain't fun. So this is my summary for you fire babies, your fire placements. I'm sorry, not just sun, wherever you place the sun. Wherever you place this, whether you're Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius, again, you want to pay attention to this is Saturn. Yeah, this is Saturn and Venus. The challenges on the heart chakra in the physical world, and we're having patience with that, right? And it's at a 3 and 5. That's creation and walking in the power of your truth, right? 3 is the physical world, being Saturn on Venus, which you're standing under, and walking in the power of your truth. And that comes together makes 8 transformations. So patience with that Saturn, excuse me, and collectively, like I said, it's sitting in Pisces. Patience with that Venus, and collectively, it's sitting in Virgo, and yeah, sitting in Virgo, and by next month, it'll be sitting in Scorpio. And then we have Mercury giving us the Weaver energy. So that fire energy in your Draconic chart is the leader, it's the creator in your space. And then you have Mars being that motivator. Oh yeah, and just to let y'all know, the Weaver is on a 2-0 wisdom in your cipher with what your spirit is pushing you towards. And then you have peaceful warrior to the fire placements in your Draconic chart, because we want to stay in alignment with Mayat. We are not here to be violent. We are not here to do all that stuff unless your soul is pushing you to be that. And I already told you the disclaimer with that. That's the rules to the game. Hey Shane. And again, that's the moon and your Mars placement. And then you have the reverse line of pentacles. Keep moving against your spiritual self. Keep moving against the fire in your Draconic chart. It's going to be harder and harder for you to keep moving around in this physical world. Okay. You're going to start dropping stuff in the physical world. And I talked about that during the astrological jaunt. Queen of Wands, you know, being the nurturer, being, the maternal nurturer, the maternal educator, the expander, see how she nurturing the flowers and stuff like that. Being that's the fireplaces in your Draconic chart. Hermit card, utilizing the chesed, which is the nurturing energy, that mercy, and walking in the power of your truth, the temperate, to your fire placements in your Draconic chart. We are not here to be violent, but mess around and find out that you don't want to mess around with God's holy people. Exactly. My points exactly. Thank you for speaking on it so eloquently. Gratitude as the below to the above, from the root to the crown. We move in gratitude. Okay. Spirit stays in gratitude. You know you're not in gratitude if you're feeling impatient, because when you're feeling impatient, that patience is the enemy of trust. Okay. You're saying, I just gotta hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. 7 billion people in the world. You don't know how many people need to do a certain amount of things for you to be able to do what you gotta do. Okay? You can't see the celestial traffic. The universe can. So you have to stay in that trust. And with that trust comes patience. Okay? And then social problems are going to happen. You wanna know why? Because when you start listening to your spirit, it's going to irritate the spirit of others. Tyree, I don't know if you're still here, but you said it best yesterday in the book club. You was like, my authenticity triggers people. And I told you that's not your problem. Because it's not. And your authenticity, when you start walking in your spirit, when you start dressing for the part, when you start allowing your physical being to express, to mirror your spirit, when you start letting your thought process mirror your spirit, you're going to trigger people. I go outside now, my purple hair, my crystals in my hair, my tattoos on my body, the kind of clothes that I wear. When people walk up to me, they be like, what's up? Hello, how you doing? I put my hand to my heart and I say peace. It changes their whole energy. Some people don't know how to react to that. Some people like, hey, peace. What the hell? You know what I mean? It triggers people. Trigger is not always a word of a negative word of like, oh, I want to fight or I hate it here. Trigger sometimes could be like just that motivator, like you moved me to want to say something or do something different. All right. So that's the fire placement energy. Yeah, you still here? Thank you for still being here, Tyree. So now we're gonna move to air. And when I say air, I'm talking about Geminis, Libras, and my Aquarians. So air energy during this space of time. Y'all already know y'all gonna be the community mover and shakers. Because we started this new moon heavy in the Gemini energy. We're going to start the eclipse energy heavy in Libra energy. So air, y'all are kind of like front and center with, finding balance and how y'all move and how y'all maneuver. I know air is very difficult to obtain and contain in a container, but where air is in your chart on your spirit, you have to, you know, find some level of structure. And that's the power with having, being a being in this space. A lot of energy is jealous that you're here. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of energy that's stuck in the non physical. No problem. We love it here. Thank you. We love it here too. Ashe, receive with gratitude and grace. Just a spark. Ashe. Certain energy is upset because they don't have the grounding. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And with your spirit, don't get caught up with being so out of here that you lose the fact that we're having a human experience. Because it's a blessing that we have a spirit and we can, listen to our spirit and be in a draconic chart and do the things and stuff like that. But remember, we're still having a physical experience. We're still here and we're balancing these realms. It's like we're all Hermes. I have the ability to take a message from the non-physical because the non-physical is in here and it's around here and it's in the aura and stuff like that of us. But then we bring it to the physical and we can bring it out here and we can create with it and manifest with it and harvest with it and, put it on us, on our bodies and stuff like that. So, find that connection to your air placements of, I'm going to take this air, this energy, this intellect, this social, all these things intangible, and I'm going to ground it. I'm going to harvest it. I'm going to seed it. Okay. Joy. And then we have joy sitting at Venus and Pluto. So Venus being that heavy earth energy, that Taurus energy. Also can be Libra air. Not forget about it. And Scorpio is that water transformation. Finding power in that heart chakra, power in it, what you want, what you do, transformations in that space as well. 1 and 4, knowledge and foundation, walking in the power of your truth is heavy here too. So joy is key for you, air babies, and I love that for y'all. I'm glad y'all didn't throw no cards at me the way the fire did. Hey, Attune, peace to the God. Thank you for the follow. Thank y'all for tapping the screen. Hello, Shane and Tony. 3 of Swords. So 3 Swords, air energy. So for some of y'all, coming from like when you pull a 3 Swords, it's always a third party situation, third party thing, some type of third energy, third wheel over here, trying to piss on your flip flops, if you will. That goes back to that social problems that the fire cards have. I pull for the fire placements, but you guys don't get discouraged by those energies, like I told y'all, because air energy, whether you're dealing with the one-on-one relationships of Libra or the community relationships of Gemini or the societal relationships of Aquarius or the lack thereof on all 3 levels, you know, don't get discouraged about how those energies interact back with you when you do find that grounding of, of expression and understanding of those air placements in your draconic chart. You know what I'm saying? Don't let that discourage you. Like I said, it's gonna be some issues. You will trigger some people. Some people gonna try to call some people. It's gonna be a thing there. Some people are going to try to bring some other people into the space. Third party situations, not always just relationships. Sometimes it's friendships, sometimes it's community ships, all of those ships, business ships. Oh, for you guys, I got a reverse 9 of Cups. So for fire, we got the reverse 9 of Pentacles. For you guys, I want y'all to tap back into your spirituality. You don't have to intellectualize everything. So I think some of you guys just overthink. Trying to say like 3 different words at the same time. Some of you guys may have overthunk what I said about you guys being in the physical world and taking that air energy and condensing it. Don't overthink it to where you're intellectualizing your emotions a little too much and you're not coming into a completion or expansion. The goal is joy. And what brings you joy? A 9 of Cups, because that brings you to Jupiter Sagittarius completion. Okay, but if we're in reverse, that means we're not there yet. Y'all letting this energy discourage you, and this is probably like the root of why you don't want to express that spiritual air energy to begin with. I don't want to be ungrounded. I don't want to be unhinged. They're going to look at me. They're all going to laugh at you. And if they do, laugh with them. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? The balance is key. If you're not finding the balance in it, you're doing yourself a disservice. Hey, Grandpa Booker. Welcome, welcome. Ace of Swords. More air. We're coming from the Ketters with it, and I love that. Coming from the Ketters with it. Your downloads are important here. Keep expressing your spirit. Keep expressing how you're rooted into the cosmos. Notice I say rooted into the cosmos. That is the divine connection. That is the divine, like being in the physical with the spirit energy, being rooted in the cosmos. We have roots here. We can ground ourselves in the cosmic energy. You don't have to be unhinged in the air. You don't have to be too big in the air. Like organize, especially organize underneath this Virgo energy. You can organize your spirit. Don't intellectualize too hard, because you have to remind yourself a lot of my intellect comes from indoctrination and being trained and educated. Educated is a pretty word for training. And so with all of that, you can, again, dim your light. You can, again, dim your spiritual self if you allow yourself to do so. Trickery to the heart chakra. The heart chakra is dealing with not only the Taurus energy of priorities and value, but also dealing with that Libra energy, those relationships, those bonds and contracts. Don't be fooled by the trickery. Don't be fooled by that Three of Swords, because that is what's going to put you at that reverse 9, and that's going to reverse that joy card too. You should be being a spirit, having a human experience should be like going to Disney World. And if you are in Disney World and you are not having fun, something is wrong. Especially if you have awareness of your spiritual self. You are in a place that people are begging to be at. There are so many energies around you that are sucking their teeth and rolling their eyes at your ability to be in the physical and the non-physical at the same time. They're so jealous of you. And the fact that you can't move in pure gratitude because you've stressed yourself out so much trying to, I don't know. What are you trying to do? Trying to intellectualize everything? Trying to make everybody happy? Trying to give everybody air? Give everybody breath? Are you taking the spiritual experience too seriously? Have you become too grounded? Have you intellectualized spiritual experience so much? Too much? Which I know people have a tendency to do. They're not having fun in the spiritual community because they're like, no, it's work. It's work, 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 work. They're like the guys in the physical that tell you that you need 5 LLCs and you need a nonprofit and you need a 498 number and you need an 85 number and you need a trademark and a copyright. There's people that are doing all of that with the spiritual experience as well, right? Is that you? Is that why you're not having fun? Because you're doing too much? This is supposed to be fun. This is supposed to be an experience to go back afterwards and be like, yo, I got to do this. I got to go over here. I got to travel over here. I got to make love. I got to have all these love experiences. Like, y'all can't even have love experiences, right? Y'all too busy, like, I need to have you in my life forever. Why won't you be in my life forever? Why won't you be with me? And I'm not saying bend on your boundaries and the kind of things that you want in a relationship. I'm saying y'all gotta learn how to loosen up and just say, yo, that was a fun experience. Like, it had to end because this person started disrespecting me and it was crossing my boundaries and stuff like that. But I had a really fun experience. I got some great memories. I got to make a kid. I got to create a whole bloodline. Me, personally, I got to create 2 bloodlines in this life. I think that is so dope. And then, like, I'm having a good time. I got to perform music on stages. I get to, like, touch people's lives. You know how many readings I've done since I've been doing readings? I don't. But I know I went over 100 because I had a whole celebration when I did 100. I've made thousands of pieces of jewelry. There's over 1,000 people walking around with pieces of my jewelry. Like, I get to go into the next life and say I did that shit. I'm having a good fucking time, y'all. Like, it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be all this crazy stuff. It doesn't. Yeah, sometimes it gets uncomfortable. Sometimes, like I said, like your energy is going to trigger other people's energies, and they're going to try to create like this crazy shit in your space. But that's because they're not having a good spiritual experience. You got to be like, when Will Ferrell was an elf. That's a good one, because it's like no matter how like grounded and angry and everybody else was around Christmas time, that didn't stop Elf from being Elf. He was just like so oblivious to everybody's dusty energy. You know what I'm saying? There's this movie that uh, a friend of mine put me on called Unico. So for those of you guys who don't know, my name is Unica. And he was like, "Yo, your name is like Unico." And I was like, "You who the fuck is Unico?" He was like, "Unico, the unicorn." And so it's a story about this unicorn. It's an animated story. Look it up one day. It's about this unicorn that meets this troll, and his goal is to protect the troll from these energies. And the troll don't really want him around. The troll push him away, angry, but it never stopped Unico from being this bright light, this entity. And eventually, of course, the troll, um, softens up and womp 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 womp. But like, you have no idea how you keeping your light affects other people. You don't have to stoop down to other people's bullshit. Just like the brother said at the top, like, I'm not here to conduct violence, but fuck around and find out when you mess with a holy person. And I know the battle is not mine. You know what I'm saying? I really don't have to do nothing to you. You do something to me, you know how much energy I got around me? Your whole shit will fall apart doing something to me. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to say anything about you. I don't have to say anything to you. People are going to see. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sunshine. And I know how big my energy is. And I know how I make everything around me look like rose colored. Basically. Y'all ain't even got to put on rose colored glasses. I know how to make shit look rose colored. And when I take my light back, that shit ain't rose colored no more. And now you see the real color it was all along. I don't have to do shit. So like, I won't say you gotta be like me, but have that kind of confidence. That's the real walking in the power of your truth. Like, how depressed and dusty you choose to make your energy don't got no effect whatsoever on how happy I am and how much I'm enjoying my experience. A meetings unfavored to my air babies. And yeah, I ain't gonna repeat what I just said. You know why that meetings unfavored came out? Because some people go be hate on you. But yes, the goal is joy, air babies. Joy in this space. Don't intellectualize everything. Let this shit go. Whoever the fuck this is and whoever the fuck they thought they was gonna bring to your door and all that, let that shit go. All them air placements. We don't got time for that. Cause it's making this happen. Your emotions, your emotional connection to your spiritual experience is off. You're not nurturing your spirit. You're not nurturing your inner children. You're not nurturing yourself. You struggling. Why are you struggling? This is supposed to be fun. We're supposed to be in Disneyland right now. We in the kingdom. They done convinced us that we got kicked out of the Garden of Eden. We didn't get kicked out the Garden of Eden. We got knowledge and awareness of what we were in and who we are. Don't let them convince you got kicked out. You didn't get kicked out the shit. You expanded. You hopped in that Jupiter, baby. We got the Ketters coming down for us. We have don't be fooled by the trickery, because there's a lot of trickery. Whether you looking at one of these religious Bibles, there's a whole bunch of trickery in there. Is that to say that the whole Bible or whatever book that we look at is false? No. What I'm saying is there's certain people that say that book the way it is for a reason. They want to trick you. One of the things is tricking you that we got kicked out of the Garden of Eden and none of this stuff is fun and we're in hell and we're in all this negative shit and good morning and we got a weekend and you need a manager and da 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 da. If you decide not to believe in death, it won't exist. If you decide not to believe in this death religion, this death society, this debt, DEBT, this debt society, this debt religion, it won't exist. You don't have to believe in the trickery. You are the power. You're the only reason why the trickery exists. Did you know that? Did you know how powerful you were? I don't think you even realized you were that powerful. You are the only reason why the trickery exists. How about that? Some meetings unfavored. You wanna know why? Because there's gonna be some energies like this nigga don't want to believe in me. Oh, we about to send niggas to the door. We about to pull the three swords. We about to get the popping. You don't want to believe in me. You don't want to have faith in this no more. You're not trying to get down and lay down. That's how it happens. That's how it happens. That's the equal opposite energy. You wanna know why? Because that energy knows how powerful you are. That energy knows, bro, if these energies stop believing in us, what are we gonna do? We have nothing to do. They're so powerful. We're scared. We need their energy. How you gonna try to punk an energy that you know is that powerful? How you gonna let an energy that knows that you're that powerful punk you? Don't play with yourself. Don't play with yourself. We're not doing that. Let's move on to the water. My water signs. My water placements on the Draconic chart. Receive with gratitude. No mas, por favor. Definitely a goal. Old vision board said 10,000 pieces. Ashe. Crows and sparrows. Ashe. Your cup runneth over. Gemini, Sun, and Libra Moon. Second confirmation. Yes, my cup runneth over. It's definitely one of my mantra songs. Gemini, Sun, and Libra angels. Yeah, disrespect gets you angels and demons. We will love you from a distance and watch you miss it. Ashe. Ashe. All right, we on the water. When I speak on water, I speak on Cancer, Scorpio, and my Pisces babies. Where y'all at? My water placements. Ooh, I knew I was gonna get something celestial with these placements because y'all always be on it. And we already talked about the Pisces and Neptune and my yacht real heavy, and we are in the energy of mute anyway. But I got ancient memory with y'all. I knew I was gonna get something good with y'all. I always get something good with y'all. But yeah, we got the Sun and Mercury here, heavy. You see how you have nothing dies, nothing is dying. It's all coming into this physical experience. Nothing is dying. It's all coming in and out of this physical experience, this physical vessel, this vessel, everything coming and going. You know, this physical vessel is electricity and a magnet at the same time for all of these entities, right? This is just a vehicle for it, okay? Ancient memories. Oh, and then the fact that we're in heavy meteor shower season right now, that's a plus. But yes, the Sun and Mercury is heavy here. So that's how we start. That's how we start. I knew I was going to get something good with y'all. Because I didn't even feel the need to do an intuitive drawing because I feel like I went so deep in with Pisces and my yacht with y'all. Y'all are like on the Draconic chart, because you know, Draconic chart is based upon y'all anyway. My moon, Cancer, alignment, placement. But y'all are the conductors of this, even though the fire placements are the ones that's tugging on y'all right now. Y'all feeling restless because y'all not paying attention to the fire placements in y'all Draconic chart. But it's the water placements that's giving y'all these aha moments. And when we experience this eclipse is going to be with Pisces. It's going to be a Virgo Pisces situation. Bring that physical, intellectual energy into my yacht. Okay? Belief. And like I said, it's the reason why the Fed also, that's also Constitution Day. I don't know if y'all knew that. That's Constitution Day. And that happens to be a very major contract that the society relies upon y'all believing in as well. So there's going to be a lot of magic going into making sure that y'all still believe in these contracts and bonds and stuff like that they've created and stuff like that. However, because it's in Pisces, we know my yacht, whatever's not in alignment with my yacht, it's going to take a lot of energy for it to be harvested. So watch what y'all give y'all these black mirrors energy to. That's something that a lot of you spiritual people have to be mindful of, and a lot of these spiritual leaders be so obsessed with clickbait because again they want the fiat currency that these social media platforms pay. So they they want to talk about the stuff in the back mirrors, and they want to give energy towards different happenings and stuff like that, not realizing like that's what they want you to do. They want you Did you know that these black mirrors are also an organite? It has 50% of organic and inorganic material in it. It has the crystals in it. It has the copper in it. It has the metals in it. It has all that in it. And you're putting these words and this energy, and what are you talking about? And why are you talking about it? That's what you're putting into the black mirrors. And there's other people holding the black mirrors and they're receiving it. What are they talking about? Why am I listening to it? Why am I sitting here? What am I thinking about it? How am I absorbing it? Now I'm turning it off, or I'm sharing it to someone else that's doing it. And then I'm also, if I'm a content creator as well as a consumer, now I'm making my own live about it and I'm putting that energy into it. And that's the whole point. That's the harvest, right? So you have to be careful about what you make your content about and why. Are you still believing in these shackles that they have created for you to keep helping them harvest? Are you a slave driver? Are you a slave driver? Because when the economy was falling, we had slave drivers all over YouTube and all over life. Y'all need LLCs. Y'all need to get with the IRS. Y'all need PPP loans. Y'all need to do all this paperwork. Da, da, da. And y'all didn't realize, and not everybody was doing it intentionally, but y'all was keeping certain entities alive with that energy. Y'all was keeping the energy harvesting to keep these entities alive that our spirit knew was here to die. Because those were man-made things. Man-made things die. Not like stuff that the cosmos made. That's energy. No energy is created or destroyed. Okay? Why do you think man can't intellectualize the spirit or intellectualize the brain? Because it has a connection to spirit. It doesn't die. Whereas intellect dies, right? Because every time you learn something new, you have to go back and erase what we used to put in the textbooks and put a new textbook out. That intellect is man-made. That's why it could be debated. We got the Seven of Swords for you water babies. I like the Seven of Swords card. 7 being a number of God. 7 being that Libra energy of balance. Bonds and contracts. Getting them aha moments. You know what I'm saying? That intellectual energy. Maybe that's why I said the intellectual energy, right? So once again, we have that alignment of the non-physical. See my needs, my Horus energy coming into the physical. Non-physical coming into the physical. You are the vessel. My water placements. The water is the vessel. Ooh, water meditation. Maybe some of y'all need to go to the water. I'm supposed to be going to the water this weekend for my homegirl birthday. But going into the water, doing some work around the water, putting your feet in the water. That's what my mind just wanted to. Y'all need to put y'all feet in the water. I know we like to ground ourselves in the dirt, but you still be in the sand or whatever. But ground yourself in some water. Do some water meditations. Get your answers that way. The Chariot. And we have the Chariot in reverse. So there is Pisces is the feet. It is the feet. The deep waters. So having the Chariot, like I told y'all, and I'm gonna keep telling y'all, I know for a fact, especially when I get the earth, because I've already noticed it in the fire and in the air and now in the water, there's going to be energy that attacks. It's always going to be energy attacks. So my water babies, just like my fire babies and my air babies, get ready for the equal opposite energy. It's just going to happen. It's going to happen. Weed and salami, that's a wild combination. It's going to happen. Hey, Josh. Welcome. I pulled 4 sevens earlier today. 4 sevens. So you find stability in those balance scales and stuff like that. I like that. We have the Queen of Wands. And this is water and fire energy. Okay. So the fire reading that I did, applicate that to yourself as well, water, which is what I just said. I told y'all my cards is my backup singers. I'm the lead singer. And if I pull the card, I'm just going to keep repeating myself. Pulled her too. So now we're going to focus on the chakra. What chakra? The solar plexus chakra. And prayer. Again, like I said, go into the water. Go into the water and manifest things. I'm going to give y'all a summary in a minute. Let me pull this next card. Because I done met up to my 207. I done went over my time. And then I also like that that's lemonade, more water. Woman's treachery here. So fighting, arguing. You see how they're playing tug of war over chicken in the middle, chicken being a divine being. That's air energy in the middle as well. We have the numbers 3 and 4. So that's understanding and the foundation of that understanding. Where did that understanding come from? Again, why am I doing this? Why am I saying these things? Why am I, hey, Hurst, peace, peace. Why am I saying these things? Why am I putting this into the black mirror? Why am I giving this to the people? Another 7, right? Why am I doing that? You know? And when other people are receiving me, what, like today, I stopped myself from responding on a few different posts today. I definitely had these water placement moments. I've definitely had this spread moment a few times online because I've seen a lot of people coming from those air cards that I pulled, where they were taking the joy and the fun of being the medium between the physical and the non-physical, and they were projecting. It was just projection, projection, projection. Because I don't want to do this, you shouldn't. And if you don't, then you're wrong, and nobody should follow you. And since you won't listen to me, I'm going to go out to the people and say, hey, y'all can't talk to people that look like this or act like this, because they're not right, because I said so. And then you had all these people commenting like, well, I do that, or well, I don't do that. Does that make me a bad person? I don't feel like a bad person. All these energies that are actually enjoying their experience, kind of like proving her wrong. So she felt the need to comment on each one, like, well, I meant this, I meant that, and I almost commented, you know what I mean? I almost said something, like nothing crazy, because I don't like talking to people like that, but I almost said something like, well, I think this is a projection, you know what I mean? Like, respect to it, but you're projecting what you like to do onto other people. But then I erased it because I was like, why am I saying that? Why do I feel the need to say that to this person when it's clear that they have their mind made up? There's a number of comments already under this that are, no different than than the thought I'm trying to convey, and they obviously didn't get it then. So what would make my words so different? You know what I'm saying? Like, why do I need to say that to them? Why do I need to prove my point to them? And I was like, you don't. Do you like what you do? Yeah. Do I feel the need to defend what I do to other people? No. So I erased it. I didn't say anything. And I actually felt good that I didn't even say anything. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, my water babies. Y'all are coming from the ancient memory. We love it here. Focusing on the sun placement and the Mercury placement on your Draconic chart. This is the number 3. We're under standing. We're on the Bina, understanding that you are a spiritual being. You have connection to all these non-physical beings. Some of them jealous of you. Some of them want to be in your space. Some of them are supporting you. Some of them are celebrating you. And you are the electromagnetic, physical, condensed energy body, water thing in the middle. Okay? You are the medium between the two. Once again, the medium in between the two. Getting your wisdom from the oracle and sage, especially under this Virgo Pisces energy. You're going to piss some people off. You're going to piss some people off. Some people are going to bring their energy towards you because you affect their comfortability in their position. Your presence makes them question their shit. That's not your problem. Oh, this is also a 7. I don't know if you knew that. I just realized that, Adonis, this is a 7. So I got 1, 7, 2, 7. And then we have water and fire. And the Queen of Wands, the water and fire. All right. So being in control of that fire energy. And we did the fire card. I pulled a Queen of Wands already in the fire chart too, right? Learning how to, and the theme of that one was being patient, right? And then prayer in your solar plexus chakra. Prayer in the solar plexus chakra is cool. And I like that there's a couple of lemonade here because we're making lemonade with the lemons, right? And bringing you back to the water in that solar plexus chakra, right? But prayer, that whole conversation I had to have to control my solar plexus chakra. Because what if I would have commented? Then I would have been projecting and trying to control her thought process with the way I do things. Because I do things the way I do it, your thought process shouldn't be that. That would have been an overactive solar plexus chakra experience. That would have been an overactive solar plexus chakra action. I don't need to prove nothing to you, and I don't need my truth to affect your reality. I don't need it. And obviously you don't either. Hopefully at some point in time in your journey, you realize that your solar plexus chakra does not need to control other people's solar plexus chakras or other people's any chakras. Just like these entities out here, the Federal Reserve and all these corporations need to learn that they need to control their solar plexus chakras. You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to control everybody else's. But until then, I can keep my soul to myself. I don't need to project my soul onto other people. I don't. And sometimes you get that realization through prayer. And prayer isn't always getting on your hands and knees and putting your hands together and putting your head down and da da da. Sometimes it's just having a conversation with the God in you. God is God. That's 764. That adds up to 8. 8 is Scorpio energy. That is the solar plexus chakra. That's why they say God is the God of war, because God adds up to the solar plexus chakra. God adds up to the 8. Where's 8 right now? 8 right now is in the root chakra of things. It's in Saturn. It's in Capricorn right now, providing transformation to the infrastructure of things. The solar plexus is in the root chakra right now, providing transformations. Yes, our good friend Sebek, providing the celestial classification to things. The tribes are coming back. New tribes, not the same tribes. It's new tribe time. Because if the same tribes did such a great job, we wouldn't be here trying to figure things out. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just gotta talk to the God in you to control the God in you. And then we have the woman's treachery. So there will be feminine energy that's going to push back. It is going to be a tug of war. Remember, prayer is key. Because you know what this looks like? 2 solar plexus chakras battling each other. We don't need to do that. I don't need to project on you. You don't need to project on me. So that's what I got from my water babies. That was a good one. I like that. I liked all of them all so far, but I really like that one. So now we're going to go to Earth. We're going to go to Earth. The app just added 10 whole extra people from nowhere. Oh yeah, that happened the other day too. I had like 60 something people just popped in out of nowhere. I don't know where they came from, but I was like, I ain't mad. Welcome y'all. I really appreciate y'all coming in here. We're doing a Draconic chart reading, and I'm doing, Humpday reading right now, giving each energy a reading. And for those of you guys that are just coming in, I'm also recording on YouTube. My YouTube page is lesnobodies. You guys can definitely go tap into lesnobodies on YouTube to get a recap. So let's go to Earth. Earth is Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn energy. My Earth placements in Draconic chart. This could be very difficult. Tug of war here, because it's like, and it doesn't have to be, but let me tell you why it can be. Because we have been taught spiritually that everything is outside of us. You know what I'm saying? You want spirituality, you have to go to a church. You have to pray at the altar over there. And even when we came into the spiritual realm, we were taught that we build altars outside of ourselves. All the altars are out here. You know what I mean? All the images, all the elements are out here. After a certain point, of course, you learn that everything is inside. But initially, you're still in that outside realm. And that is heavy in the earth experience in the spiritual realm, right? You have to read a Bible, you have to read a Quran, you have to read a Circle 7, you have to read these books, you had to engage in all these things that were outside of yourself, and that's how our spiritual journey has been, and it doesn't have to stay that way. Earth in the Draconic chart is not about it being outside of you. It's about you finding that grounding, coming back to that card that I pulled for the water babies, that ancient memory. See how it was the human body in the middle, but it was still like spiritual things happening through her, whether it was downloads or uploads, her being healed and her giving the healing. You know what I'm saying? That is the earth in the Draconic. It's still in you. You are a spirit having a physical experience. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be directed to spirit stuff outside of you, physical stuff outside of you, spirit stuff outside of you. It doesn't have to be outside of you. It could be just you grounding, you putting your own spiritual experience into the physical world. This is what I want my spiritual experience to look like. It's you expressing what's going on inside with grounded reason. That's what it is. Okay? So what you do for you, other people might not do for them. And that's okay. Because we're all fingerprints. We're all fingerprints to the same hand. Everybody is unique. Everybody is a unique cell with its own, its electrons are in its own special placement, but all those cells still make up the same one body. You know what I mean? That. My Draconic moon is in Taurus. Ooh, Ashe. So that's heavy for you as far as the nurturing and the priorities and the values and the things of beauty and the physical things. The bulls have been giving me the most resistance. My Draconic chart is a Scorpio stellium. My Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus are all in Scorpio. I'm a very powerful energy. And Scorpio energy is my adversary. As much as I love Scorpio energy, oh my God. Oh my God. My experience with Scorpio's energy is very interesting. From my family members to the men I've dated to the people I've worked with. Once I realized they're a Scorpio, I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck? What's happening? I've got my Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Mars and Pisces in the 5th house. Ashe. Send hope. Right. Send hope. But they are the physical, they are the outside reflection to your spiritual energy, right? And it's probably the spiritual energy that you kind of like, you don't want to deal with too much, or you intellectualize, or you're like, oh, there's no place for that in the physical. But then you see these people with their intellect, that tropical chart is sitting right where your spirit wants to be. You know what I'm saying? And if I keep it 100, yeah, I would like that. I would like to feel more comfortable utilizing my Scorpio soul, but I don't because my tropical is so heavy in that Virgo. My Vedic is so heavy in that Virgo. It prevents that Scorpio energy from being out there like that. And every now and then I'll have some Scorpios that, like, I met a Scorpio, he might have been my twin flame. I met a Scorpio whose placements were so much aligned with my Draconic chart, it was scary. But that was like one of the best, most turbulent relationships I've ever been in. But it was so fun. It's so fun. Great experience. But that's essentially what it is. You're seeing somebody live your spiritual truth. It can be triggering. All right, my earth babies. You surrender. It's surrendering time to your earth placements. Surrender to the spirit. It's not outside of you, it's inside of you. As you can see, she got the water running, she got the flowers around her. We're focusing on the Neptune placement in the moon. See, Adonis, you were just talking about Neptune and Pisces in the moon. So, Neptune and the moon. This is the most spacey we can go. We can't get no spacier than this, Earth babies. Can you get spacier than Pisces and in the moon? She got 2 owls up there. Not 1, 2. Okay? That's wild. You know what I'm saying? And then she got the crystal crown. Look at that. Look at the crystal crown going up to the owls and all that. There's mad spiritual stuff happening right here. Okay? And we want you to surrender. Not everything is about the physical world. Okay? I told y'all. I am the lead singer. These are my backups. Double wild wisdom. Yes. For them earth babies. Because like y'all have a gift. Those earth placements in the Draconic chart have a gift of really grounding and having like that human design manifesting type energy on a Draconic level um of your spiritual self. And it's not outside of you. Claiming the best and surrender the rest. Ashe. Ooh, death. So we only got the Cancer and Pisces here. We had to get the Scorpius energy here, right? So Earth, y'all basically want to embody all 3 levels of water. That's basically just embody all 3 levels of water. You said bye. Totally. transformations occurring to the earth energy on the Draconic chart, y'all. Transformations heavily go back into that baby spirit, and it's okay. Because I know a lot of the earth energy has been intellectualized so hard. And that was all part of the game. It was all part of the game. It's not really a reflection on you. Six of Swords. Six of Swords. See? Intellectualized. I know it's been intellectualized. Six is that health, wellness, daily routine, that Virgo energy, that organized, that intellectual energy. You've been taught to be like this every day. This is what you're doing every day, all day long. You got the slave driver up there just telling you what to do, and y'all just roll. Okay? It don't gotta be like that. We want transformations on that. We want you to surrender away from that. We've been taught that everything's outside of y'all, and whatever's going on outside of y'all is a reflection of how spiritual abundant you are, and how spiritual this you are, and spiritual that you are. And all these physical things, they're reflections of your spirituality. No, they're not. They're not. Your spirit is experiencing these things. Your spirit has nothing to do with these things. These things have to do with your mind. These things are in alignment with your tropical chart. I'm talking about your soul, your spirit. Your soul, your spirit has nothing to do with your mind. That's why you have to connect your mind, body, and spirit. They have to connect. So anybody that's telling you, oh, if you have the money, then this is spiritual. No. That's not how it works, baby. You want the three to be connected, because that gives you three. That gives you Bina. That gives you understanding. And you stand under the connection of the three. But don't sit up here and say, oh, I got all the money. I got all this fiat currency. You got all that fiat currency because your soul believes in it. You sold your soul to move in it. Your SOL is standing under it. You sold your soul. You had to sign contracts to do that, didn't you? Okay. And I'm not saying that's wrong. Nothing that I'm telling y'all is wrong or right. Does it agree with you or disagree with you? That's up to you and your personal spiritual experience. Your spiritual experience is not my personal spiritual experience. That's why I'm not trying to project on you. I don't want to project on you. I want you to hear my readings, and I want you to cherry pick. That's what I want you to do. Because your spirit already knows what parts it wants to listen to and what parts it wants to throw away. And I respect that. That's the whole point of it. That's why I do each element, and I don't just do one whole thing and start telling y'all what to do and who y'all need to be. And if y'all not spiritual, y'all not black, y'all not tribal, y'all not American, y'all not this, y'all not that. I'm not doing that with y'all. I want y'all to be yourselves, and I want to watch y'all be yourselves, because I love it. I love to watch. You do charts? Yes, I do charts. I do numerology charts, and I do astrology charts on the tropical, the Vedic, and the Draconic. I do the natal and progressive, and I also do astrocartography. I do synastry charts as well. We got Saturn and Pisces. See, more surrendering that earth to the water, rooting yourself in that Pisces energy, rooting yourself in that Olokun, rooting yourself in that Mayat, that balance. That's what's key here, okay? We're dealing with Had, our friend Sebek, that eighth sphere on the tree of life, okay? The celestial labelers. That's what we're doing here. We're going to talk about our Earth chakra. Okay, yeah, I don't know what all those are, but you obviously do. I'm very interested. I'm going to look into that. Okay, I also do free consultations. If you want to sit with me, my consultations are 33 minutes, and I can go over, the gist of what those charts are, and you let me know what you want. If you want to book an actual reading from me, and I can also get into what my readings entail. I send you depending on which one you choose, but I do send it in a PowerPoint. So it's something that's downloadable to you. You get a visual and an audio that you download. You listen to it whenever you want. And then after you, here, I'm going to give you, I'm going to give you my email. I'll give you Instagram first because I respond faster on Instagram. You want Natal? Okay. Reach out to me on Instagram and remind me, because after this I'm probably going to KO or stare at the walls until I KO. Remind me, and we will talk. And I will send you my price points and things like that. I'm also in the process of revamping my business, y'all, because Adonis said, get the reading. I'm also in the process of revamping my business, not on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and start. You're going to have to go. Oh, yeah, I can give you an email. No worries. That's my email. So shoot me an email and remind me. No worries. I'm malleable. Oh, okay. I was shuffling too long. But yeah, reach out and I'll send you a link to my Google Calendar or whatever is more feasible, depending on how our conversation goes. I got you. But I'm in a process of revamping my business because I do like to do chart readings, but I think I'm no longer going to do those long form charts anymore as a one time reading. Those long form charts are going to be solely for my therapy sessions because they're very intense and I feel like I give too much information and still it's not everything because I'm still trying to condense it. Um, and I don't like that. So I'm not going to do for those of you guys who have had readings by me already, thank you. I'm speaking on it on the 222. I will no longer be doing those long form charts on the one time reading. Those long form charts will be therapy sessions where we will focus on one Sephiro at a time so that we can really comb through that Sephiro for as many sessions as we need to, depending on how many celestial planets you have in it. And I do my therapy sessions in a motivational and art therapy setting. So you get that motivational therapy, that Q&A with me, and then at the end of the session, we go over that Sephiroth that we're focused on in that session. We do an art exercise together, breathing meditation. I give you some homework for you to do until our next session. And that's usually how my therapy sessions go. The last few long form readings I've had, they've been very strenuous on me, and it feels like there needs to be a change there because the more I know, the more I want to give, and I just it just doesn't feel fair to you or me to do that in a one time reading. I want to just and I like therapy sessions way more than I like readings. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I love doing the one time readings, but I really love doing the therapy sessions with y'all. I love them even more because I've always wanted to be a psychologist. I always wanted to be a therapist, and I feel like me bringing astrology and the numerology into it, it's like I'm still walking in my childhood dream and giving y'all the different the twist to it. But coming back to my earth. Let's go back to my earth. Rejection, fearing the rejection from the physical space. Is that what it is? I don't want to be rejected from the physical world because I have these physical placements. Nobody likes rejection. Nobody wants to be rejected. Nobody wants to be pushed out of the world that they've become accustomed to. Um, you gotta protect your own energy, girl. You can't be doing what that I know. I do the same thing. I just want to give, and then and then trying to right drain. Not trying. I don't know. Voice to text. Oh, that's voice to text. Oh, respect. I like to give. I'm kind of addicted to it. I don't know why. Therapy does not necessarily have to be done in a traditional sense to heal somebody. Exactly. That's how I feel. And I just okay, that card got thrown at me. Hurtful gossip. That's what it is. Okay, my earth babies. Yeah, being hurtful gossip, bringing you a sense of rejection. It's playing in your mind, these little energies that's talking around you. Wow, look at them. Rejecting the earth, rejecting the stuff that's outside of them. They're not doing the spirituality the way we want them to do the spirituality. Remember, all this shit that you worried about is all stuff outside of you. It's not in you. That's outside of you. So once again, you're losing the sight of having earth placements in your draconic chart. It's the ground, the stuff inside. It's not to be worried about this out there. Even those energies out there that's doing that. Because, like I told y'all earlier, they're getting upset because you're not intellectualizing your experience the way that they are. Like that example that I gave y'all in the water. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to intellectualize your shit the way they intellectualize me. That's not your job, right? So, just to give y'all again a little rewind. Very good. Thank you, Brad. Um, For my earth placements in the Draconic chart, Passion Flower, we got another 7 at a 4-3. Y'all finding foundation and expression, that foundation, okay? Putting your emotions to that physical level. Peace, Sonia. Thank you. I'm sorry. I didn't say the right part of your name. I apologize. Please don't charge this to my heart. We have that Neptune and that moon energy giving me that Pisces, Maya, and that Cancer nurturing energy when you surrender. Then we have the Death card. We have that Scorpius transformation happening, that empowerment happening in your spiritual soul. For my earth signs, again, that's Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. You guys are going to be experiencing all 3 waters, okay? All 3 water experiences going through it. 6, daily routine. How are you spending your soul? How are you spending your soul on a daily routine? How are you serving your soul? I love the fact that you said what you said, Studebaker, about give, 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 give. And that's what you could see in this image is row, 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 row. Let the slave drivers tell you what to do. They're teaching you how to intellectualize your experience on a daily basis. They're controlling your mindset up here, and that's thus controlling your Vedic. So they control your tropical, they're controlling your Vedic. Meanwhile, your soul is down here with the fishes, right? And you have, well, this I was about to say, but this is an 8. You have Hod, which is Saturn and Pisces, giving you that cardinal Earth energy and putting it in that Piscean energy, that deep waters, rooting yourself in that spiritual realm. Do you have any experience or knowledge in reading into star seed charts? What do you mean by star seed charts? Because that's one thing that I'm learning. That's one thing that my soul is learning in this earth realm is everybody has vocabulary for something, and usually it's related to something I already know. I just don't know the vocabulary. So expound to me what a star seed chart is. I might. Yeah, and apparently when I talk fast, I've sent some things that I wish I had. I have proof reference. I can only imagine. I do not do voice to text. I just leave voice notes. And if I can't, it is what it is. I like voice notes. And then again, my earth people, stop allowing this to occur so that shit like this can stop hurting you. People gossiping about you and talking to you and looking at you crazy. That's just all energy outside of yourself that have intellectualized. And they over here telling you to row, 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 sell your soul, you know, um, telling you all these things that these spiritual leaders is telling you and stuff like that, making you prioritize things that you don't want to prioritize towards babies. Maybe you serve in the physical world in the ways that you don't want to serve, my Virgo babies, making you create and build and stand under things that you don't want to stand under, my Capricorn babies. That's what they're doing when they intellectualize your spiritual experience. Okay? You have to be in charge. But when I pull this card, this says that you ain't in charge. In fact, you so in charge. Look how in control that you could be, though. You know? Look at how in control you could be. You're making the boat go on the water. You're keeping the sails in the air. This is the magician card right here, with you being the fire, because you got the soul. That's all 4 elements right here. That's how much in control you are, but you don't know because you got these people intellectualizing it for you. You worried about shit like this, gossiping and rejection. Man, fuck them people. Fuck them people. Everybody plays on the earth placements in the chart. Everybody plays on the earth placements in the chart. But that's what I got for y'all. My phone is on 1%, y'all, so I'm just gonna close out now. But thank you guys to those of you YouTube that have been tuned in this whole time. Studebaker, my phone died as soon as I said my phone was on 1%. I just looked up and I noticed. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. I'm about to take it down. Again, thank you. Reach out if you would like a personal reading. I will see y'all tomorrow. We are going to compare and contrast all 3 charts that we have gone through from new moon to new moon. And yeah, that's what I got for y'all today, my cosmic nobodies. I love y'all. Peace, peace.